show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Happy Freedom Day, South Africa, a flag that represents one of the most diverse and one of the most amazing nations in the world. Happy Freedom Day, my brother.
It is us. We are here, the Rainbow Nation, of course, and waking up with you, Mzansi. It is a public holiday and a beautiful one at that, because we are celebrating Freedom Day. What a special day, right, G?
It is a vital, especially if you're an OG, an old person like me who can remember that time, absolutely magical opportunity for the country to do something that it had never been able to do before. Democracy and freedom and an opportunity to cast a vote. I can barely imagine actually how unbelievable that must have been for so many of the people being able to do that for the first time. Incredible stuff, man. So happy Freedom Day.
Yes, and of course it gives us the opportunity to be with you this morning, Mzansi, and do so many special things. So this is your opportunity to obviously stay in bed maybe, but sit back, relax, and enjoy everything that comes your way with this show.
Do they get out of their pajamas or do they stay in their pajamas?
I don't actually know. You can do whatever you want.
Flip a coin. Please, and if you're going to stay in your pajamas, let us know. Post pictures. We're going to have a little bit of fun and, of course, a lot to help you get prepped for the day and the rest of the week ahead. We're going to connect with parent coach and our educational consultant, Ayanda Tetiana, about how to educate our young ones about the meaning and importance of a day like today, Freedom Day, especially when they lack the context. I think for a lot of young people, they just don't know where we've come from.
So understanding the struggle is going to be very important. And then I know some of you will be lighting those fires to maybe do a braai because it's becoming tradition. So we've got some incredible recipes for you. We've got a mint lamb chop as well as, listen to this, the ultimate brunch bagel braai broodjie.
What?
That just happened.
Brunch braai
sounds
broodjie.
delicious, sounds exciting, sounds something like I want.
You have the freedom to do it because it is your public holiday. No, in fact, I'm going to change the rule earlier. You're not going to flip a coin. You're going to stay in your pajamas all day. And then you get to look at these beautiful faces. Have you guys gotten even better looking?
Oh, yeah, they have.
I've only been gone for a day. How did this happen?
Oh, we love them. We love when they start the morning like that.
They start off like that, then 7:15. Things are different here, but it's okay. It's lovely to have you. You know, the thing is, I know public holiday, you could really like sort of chill and relax, and that's fine. But I can tell you, it's very, very nice of you to actually stick around for a lovely Freedom Day. We are very, very happy to have you. I'm Carl Wasty. It's a pleasure to meet you. I feel like I could take your hand and say hello. And this lovely lady is
Jamie Lee Domberg. I wish I could take your hand too, but I'm spilling the tea this morning because I want to find out about you. What are you doing for the rest of the day? It is a public holiday. It is Freedom Day, and we are celebrating that here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. But we want to know on social media, let us know, what are the plans for the day? Are you going to be, like G said, in your pajamas the entire day, just chilling, relaxing for the next 3 hours? Are you going to be doing a braai day, Mr. Wasty?
Yes, I think that the braai is quite important. I mean, I am working today, but I don't care. I feel like on Freedom Day, you have to exercise your freedom to braai. And that's the thing, because if you don't braai, you have to choose. Are you free or are you the other thing? Yeah, that's it. But anyway, what we do wish you this morning as we sip our beautiful iced tea is unity, prosperity, and longevity.
I'm stuck with this guy for 3 hours, everybody. But you are too. But we're also stuck with this other beautiful human who's about to get into those news headlines for you just right now.
When it comes to that, man, it's just quality all the way. Now, of course, it's time to kick into the news. And starting on national fronts, where the SA Farmers Development Association, otherwise known as SAFTA, has released a preliminary report on the effects of the floods in KZN and elsewhere, which have had on the rest of the farmers. Now, it says more than 49 million will be required to replant crops and 42 million rand to repair infrastructure. Now, waterlogging has been experienced by most farmers, resulting in damage to the roots of crops and the leaching of inputs such as fertilizer and chemicals. Now, SAFTA says some farmers had lost all their crops because of soil erosion and would have to undertake a complete replant. Now, sticking to our national news, former IFP leader and Member of Parliament Prince Mangasutu Buthelezi has called on those involved to adhere to the conscience and avoid plundering the disaster relief funds meant for flood victims in KZN. Now, he said there was a very real fear that these funds would be plundered long before they reach destitute families. Now, he called on government officials and leaders to assess their consciousness and added, their consciences, and added the following, and quoted, "There is no peace for those who steal from our people. Now, as we face this devastating loss, may God Almighty heal our nation," unquote. And we really, truly hope that those funds do get to the point of wherever they may be deserved. Now, from national news fronts, we head over to international news, and a second Ebola patient has died in the northwestern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, otherwise known as the DRC. Now, genetic testing showed an infection confirmed last week in the city of Mbandaka was a new spillover event and a transmission from an infected animal not linked to any previous outbreaks. Now, the second fatality was a 25-year-old woman, the sister-in-law of the first deceased. The country's equatorial forests are a natural reserve for, a reservoir for the Ebola virus, which was discovered near the Ebola River in the north of the DRC in 1976. While now sticking to our international news fronts and over in North Korea, where North Korean leader Kim Jong-un made a defiant speech at a military parade on Monday night, vowing to ramp up the country's nuclear arsenal. Now, the parade to mark the armed forces' founding anniversary also displayed banned intercontinental ballistic missiles, otherwise known as ICBMs. Now, in March, North Korea tested its largest known ICBM for the first time since 2017, and this led to international condemnation, and the US imposed several sanctions on the country after the test. Now, ICBMs extend North Korea's strike range as far as the US mainland. Now, next up, in potentially some lighter news, on the 18th of July every year, you are invited to mark Nelson Mandela International Day by making a difference in your communities. Now, this Mandela Day, you can support a new mom with some adorable and useful baby essentials, and the Grace Factory will deliver them to moms in need. Now, the Grace Factory has started its Mandela Day preparations by packing 1,000 bags filled with baby essentials for new moms in government hospitals. Now, the Grace Factory, an NPO that gives practical assistance to moms and babies in need during the first weeks of motherhood and infancy, stresses the importance of doing so. Now, the organization packs the items into gift sets and delivers them to new moms in government hospitals all over SA. Now, the packs consist of basic necessities such as clothes, blankets, toiletries, nappies, and a few things for mom. Now, Mandela Day is a great way to give back to those in need. And for more on the Grace Factory and how to become involved by donating a maternity pack, you can see the contact details on your screen right now. Well, that's all we have for the news in this hour. We'll catch up in the next, but for now, it's time to kick off with the rest of the headlines, and here's the G-Man with the latest on the sport.
Well, like me, you might be ruining the fact that you missed one of the best games of the season last night. Right now, as we start with football, Manchester City, they have a slender lead to defend in their second leg of their Champions League semi-final against Real Madrid. That was after winning a thrilling first leg, 4-3 at the Etihad. Now, Kevin De Bruyne, Gabriel Jesus, Phil Foden and Bernardo Silva all on target for Pep's men, who should have scored many more, in fact. But once again, Karim Benzema's double and a brilliant individual effort from Vinicius Jr. gave Madrid hope of another famous Champions League fight back at the Santiago Bernabeu. That, of course, will be on the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you, Carl. And City might live to regret their missed chance during the 90 minutes with the hosts twice having a 2-goal cushion, and get this, registering 16 attempts on goal. Then we bring it back home. It is now crunch time. Mamelodi Sundowns will be looking to successfully defend their league title by avoiding a defeat against Cape Town City at Loftus tonight at 7:30 p.m. So the Brazilians, who are undefeated in their last 2 matches in the league, are now placed at the top of the league standings, 12 points clear of second-place surprise outfit this season, Royal AM. But the former have a game in hand. So Sundowns need a point from their encounter against City in order to clinch this season's league championship. And it would also be a record-extending 5th successive league title. And then Kaizer Chiefs, they kick off the day's action at 3 p.m. They'll be travelling to Golden Arrows, and then Orlando Pirates, they host Chippa United at 5 p.m. And then some positive news. I don't know if we can get too excited, but we'll take some hope from this latest on the tennis front. Former men's tennis world #1 and fan favourite Roger Federer will play at the ATP Basel indoor tournament. That's in October, organisers have said. So Federer, who hasn't played competitively since losing last July in the quarterfinals at Wimbledon, that was to Pole Hubert Hurkacz. He replied to the organisers on Instagram's announcement with the message, looking forward to playing coming back home. And the tournament, like the 10-time winner, will be making its return after an enforced break, obviously having not taken place for the past 2 years due to COVID-19. Federer withdrew from the Olympics last year and underwent his third bout of knee surgery in 18 months, only playing, in fact, 19 matches across 2020 and 2021 season. Then finally, we look forward in Formula One. Formula One teams have now agreed to double the number of sprint events to 6 in 2023. That was in a meeting yesterday, but formal approval was stalled by the governing FII, who called for a further evaluation. So the world body said in a statement that the proposal was to use the same format as this season, with points awarded to the top 8 in the 100-kilometre Saturday sprints, but it reversed its judgment. And a supermajority is required for the change to take effect next year, and the FIA hold a third of the votes on the commission. The first sprint of the season was held at Imola in Italy at the weekend, with Formula One's managing director Ross Brawn spelling out the desire for more after the format was first trialled in 2021. As a fan, we dig it. You can let it stay. But that's where we leave our sporting headlines for this hour. Let's bring you up to speed with the weather and get a bit of a global perspective.
Thank you so much, Graham, for that sports update. Well, the Northern Cape Department of Water and Sanitation has issued a warning to communities along the Vaal and Orange River systems. Now, both rivers continue to rise due to water being released upstream. The Orange River at Uppington now measures just over 5.6 meters. Meanwhile, the magnificent Ograbi's Falls is flooded for the third time in the space of a year. South African National Parks spokesperson Genevieve Maasdorp says the fall is thundering at a speed of more than 2,400 cubic meters per second and is set to look even more breathtaking. Maasdorp says more water is on its way. It will reach its peak in the next 3 days and will slowly decline over the next fortnight. This means there will be high levels of water for approximately the next 3 weeks. Then we kick off our weather showcase this morning with Alan Rudnicki from an estate in Stellenbosch as he shows off this stunning shot of this double rainbow over the area. We also had another one from Andrew Neil Harris from Belito, who shared yet another winning shot showing off the silhouetted view over his area as the sun peaks up over the horizon. That is how we start our Wednesday here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. But that being said, let me get you geared up for this day with those temperatures. If you do find yourself in Polokwane, do expect some rain coming your way with a low of 11 and a high of 20. For you, Mbombela, it is a range of 11 to 22. Pretoria can be seen with a minimum of 11 as well and a maximum of 21. And then Johannesburg, sunshine is coming your way with a range of 9 to 19. Mahikeng, for you, it is 9-22. Klerksdorp can be seen with a low of 6 and a high of 23, as well as Kimberley, sunshine coming your way on this Wednesday with a range of 7 to 22. For you, Bloemfontein, it is 2-20. Richards Bay can be seen with a range of 13 to 22, as well as Pietermaritzburg, your low is 13 with a high of 22. For you, Durban, South Africa's playground, do expect a minimum of 14 and a maximum of 22. Mthatha, for you, it is 6-19. East London can be seen with a range of 12 to 20, as well as Craddock ranging from 13 to 21. Gqeberha, for you, 13-20. George, your minimum is 11 with a maximum of 21. The Mother City, Cape Town, do expect a range of 13 to 22 today. Worcester, for you, 18-23. Sutherland, 7-20. And last but definitely not least, Uppington ranging from 15 to 28. Well, that is where I'll leave your first weather update on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Love it, Jamie, love it. Thank you so much for bringing in all the good stuff when it comes to the weather. Carlitos, did you hear that?
What's that?
My stomach just woke
Your
up.
stomach's rumbling.
Yeah,
Okay, well, what are we whipping up?
Streaming of the braais that happened today, and we got something for you, Mzansi. We've got a lamb recipe made with mint that you are absolutely going to love.
Indeed, and the thing is, you know, if you are a parent and you're looking for some advice as to how to engage around Freedom Day with your kids, you may want to stick around for that in your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
We are back with the best of the best in the All-Star Season 10 of Tropica Island of Treasure. And we're going big!
Buy a Tropica, find your code under the cap, and stand a chance to win loads of instant prizes.
Plus, if you find the treasure under the cap, you will win one of 10 big prizes. See pack for details. Tropica, nothing smooth.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso live in S3 on this gorgeous Freedom Day. And if you think about heading out and having a lekker braai today, I guarantee you this recipe is perfect for that occasion.
With the creamy decadence of double cream bliss from Clover, yogurt has never been so irresistible.
Made with love by Clover.
So if you want to spice up your midweek meals, then our Bliss mint lamb chops come to the rescue. They're indulgent, they're juicy, they take just minutes to make, and our Chef Chumi, award-winning visionary with amazing glasses on today, will take us through this recipe. Chef Chumi, hello there. You're like an icon today with these glasses.
Thank you. I just wanted to say to the viewers, kykie, julle moet ophou om droog lamchoppies te eet.
I agree with you. You know, can I tell you, this is the one meat that whatever braai you go to, it's the one where if you're going to have a beverage, why do people leave the lamb on when they go and pour themselves a beverage? I don't understand that, because if you think about it, it is a young meat. It will rest. Just do a nice go hot, and let it rest through.
You're not making biltong. We are not making biltong on the braai. We're trying to enjoy the juiciness of it.
But
so
first we have to prep it. So
we have to prep it.
Are we going to marinate it first?
We're going to marinate it.
Okay.
And you know what the great thing about this marinade is? It tenderizes it even further because it uses yogurt. Clover Bliss yogurt. The enzymes in the yogurt, you know what they do? They break down that meat.
Indeed.
Making it tender
they break it in the meat.
Break it down.
In the meat.
Basically,
break it down.
Exactly.
That's correct. It makes sense.
So let's do that then.
So I want you to break it down for me. And while you break it down, I'll break something down for you. Because, I mean, I learned so much about every single product on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. With the use of Clover Bliss double cream plain yogurt in this recipe, you actually guarantee delicious flavors thanks to the creamy indulgence of Bliss, which is a guarantee, of course. It's not only the perfect for snacking in between, but you can also use it in various dishes, and it carries the flavors and spices with a touch of creaminess. Remember, cream is the vehicle, the enzymes, the breakdown. Everything that you do is all the added extras. Now, we've got the yogurt down in there. What have you added?
I've just added some salt.
Yes.
Just added some pepper.
Yes.
And we're talking about it being a minted lamb chop.
That's
so I
correct.
need you to add the mint.
You want me to do the mint?
Mint it up because we need the flavors to come through here. And we've got some beautiful spices in here. I've got some cumin. I've got a little bit of nutmeg, a little bit of cloves, but not too much. But yeah, right.
What type of chop are you looking for? In this rough chop, or are you looking for a?
Do you want to taste the mint, or do you want a hint of it?
I want hints. So I want to go smaller. Is that okay?
Go smaller, because you also that's where the options come in. If you want to taste the mint as you take a bite into your chop, then obviously chop it up a little bit bigger. But if you want to just get the essence of the fact that there is mint, but I can't see it, then do whatever you want, man. It's up to you. And then the other flavors we're adding to this, which also help with not only tenderizing this chop, but also just imparting so much flavor, is harissa. We've added some harissa paste in here, some chili in here.
I went to school with a girl named Marissa as well. She was also very spicy, but it's okay. Anyway, yeah, you were saying harissa?
Faga the mint.
Yes. Do you want me to drizzle it over?
Faga, we want it to be salt bay, mint bay. Okay,
mint bay, that's a new one.
I like it. I want all of that mint.
Do you want all the mint? Okay.
I want all of it, yeah. I want us to be able to taste.
There we go, all the mint.
Right, cool.
Done and dusted, okay.
Ideally, if you want to get the flavors to go deep into the centers, into the being of this lamb chop, you want to marinate it overnight. If you're marinating it overnight, I always say to people, do not add the salt.
I love that sound.
That's exactly what you want, because that means, if you're not hearing this, that means that your braai, your stove is not hot enough. It has to be scorching hot, because you want to get those grill marks, but you also want to make sure that it cooks it through. If you want it medium, you do the if you want it,
Yeah? Sorry?
You want it rare. Askis and point blank because
it's okay.
It's a holiday. My mind is on holiday, even though I'm not.
Your mind has exercised its freedom to not be in your head right now. I get you. So what I do in terms of preparing, if I am going to, is that I get very cheeky with it, and I render the fat of the lamb first on the pan. So that way the render's already done. Then I put it into the marinade. So that, but if you are going to do that, then already it's sitting there with a bit of...
Who's the chef here?
You are, ma'am. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk out of turn.
That said, you're making a very valid point. But yeah, it is important. You can do that. You can even render it after it's marinated, because also all those juices are monandi. But once you put it on the grill, guys, don't do this thing, man.
Okay, this is such an important thing. So this is a big problem. I feel that when it's on the braai or on the griddle, wherever you have it, why are you pressing your meat? What you are doing, you are making meat deep pressed when you press. What you should be doing is leaving it to do its job.
Yeah.
The whole idea of searing on the outside is that you're locking in the flavors, you're locking in the moisture so that it can rest through and then do your cooking. And the thing is, cooking is not hard. Humans make it very, very hard.
I mean, you said it. I have nothing else to say after that.
It's just...
As per Chef
no, but
Carl.
you're the chef. You are the chef. I just enjoy watching. That's why Chef Chumi, I watch everything and then I learn. And that's why we are learning together on Freedom Day. If you want to get the recipe, as well as all the ingredients, the method, we have that all covered for you. Make sure you use your Clover Bliss in this one. It will be pure bliss. Exercise your freedom. And remember, be free to cook the lamb. Don't be dormant, press it. It's very, very important for this day.
Kijk hier, jullie moet open.
Jullie moet open, man. Los die lam af, man. Hallo.
Made with love by Clover.
Thank you so much to our amazing team in the kitchen. Yeah, with Oppo. We're going to continue with some amazing Freedom Day recipes, but let's get to the heart of the matter. Now, it might be bittersweet sometimes when you haven't slept in 4 days because of your beautiful child. Parenthood is an amazing experience.
He
you
says
learn
it
so
after he
much
hasn't
about
slept.
yourself. Now, trust me, in the dark, at 3 a.m. in the morning while your child is still screaming, you learn a lot. And there's a huge amount to enjoy. But I think it's... the fact that you are your child's most influential teacher that gets me most excited. And this morning we are connecting with parent coach and educational consultant who's consulting with us right now, Ayanda Tetiana, about the importance of educating our kids about Freedom Day and the history behind it, because it is history.
Yeah.
It's our modern history. A very good morning, Ayanda. So good to be connecting with you on Freedom Day. Happy Freedom Day, sister. So happy to be joining you. I've got to say, because I can remember, I have an appreciation of this day because I can remember driving around with my mother while she was putting up election posters. I can remember going to voting stations as she was helping volunteers set up. I can remember that day. So it is so important to me. What does Freedom Day mean to you personally, Ayanda? I'm sure it has a massive resonance.
Oh, absolutely. It's the freedom to be able to choose whatever career I want, to be a Black person and embrace myself and have the freedoms. And I look at my children, obviously, and I always want to remind them that this is not something, unfortunately, we've always had. I mean, it's really sad to even say that, but just encourage them and other parents who I work with to always remind our children how important, how far we've come as a Black people. And you know, when you look at things like your Black excellence, I really want to encourage our children to strive for that, just so that we can celebrate all the sacrifices of the former generation in getting to this point where we can be anywhere in the country, you know, don't have to worry about being segregated. We can go to any schools we want, any universities you want. Yeah, it means a lot to me, and I celebrate it.
Powerful. And as it stands, why do you think it is also so important to add your voice and your opinion as a parent to whatever your child is being taught at school, you know, about this day, about Freedom Day, as well as other commemorative events?
Look, I always believe that the opinions, you know, the government, media, all of that will always have their say. But our beliefs, our attitudes, and our values are so important for us to be able to share with our children. Look, our children will grow up. They may find that maybe our views are primitive and they may find their own ways. You know, I'll make an example. A lot of us grew up in going to churches with our families, and we may choose to distance ourselves from that as we grow. But those values that come with that kind of structure is very important. So I always encourage parents, share your experiences, you know, share your fears, all of those things that you had, but also talk about the opportunities that we have today so that our children don't take what we have today for granted. You know, if we look at the past voting issues, a lot of people didn't turn out for voting. Of course, there are a lot of reasons around that, but we don't want to have a generation, because now they're free, they forget where we come from and stop, for instance, participating in voting, in all these things that have contributed towards us having this freedom.
Well, I suppose it feeds into the notion that we still have to be active citizens, probably more so now than ever before, because it's not someone else's battle, it's not someone forcing us to do it, but it's our own choice and decision, and it comes with that choice to go and vote. And I want to focus on that specifically. How do we start communicating the importance of that, the importance of free elections specifically to our younger children? Because that in itself is something that I think a lot of grown-ups don't fully appreciate.
What we usually do on a day like today, a day like your Heritage Day and all of those kind of historical days with me and my family, is we watch a lot of videos that talk about what happened in the past. You know, unfortunately here in South Africa, we don't have a lot of videos that are showing different stories of how people were living through the apartheid days. And I really hope that one of these days we can start having more. But once you start watching these things, you know, you almost like want to shock these young generation to understand how serious the situation was. And you can use other movies that you have from, for instance, the US, where they talk about the slavery thing, you know, Harriet Tubman, 12 Years a Slave, to really show how serious this thing is. I mean, the other day I was watching a documentary about Tulsa massacre with my children, just to show them how ridiculous and how far we've come. And it's not that far. I mean, it's during my mother's lifetime that all of this has happened. And then looking at today, we still have things that happen, for instance, in Zimbabwe. We have the Ukraine war. So we can always relate these things because there will always be things that are happening. I mean, look at the issues and how people are living in Afghanistan. We want to always bring the political issues so that our children cannot just be living in this comfort zone that we prepare for them, so that they know that a lot of blood has spilled for us to get to where we are. And it can go all the way. It's very fragile. Democracy is very fragile. If you look at things that happen in the US, let's encourage our children to watch news. Let's have conversations. Let's research as well. Because as a parent, I don't know everything, but I'm very open-minded to say, okay, let's find out. Because, you know, the one thing that's really lovely about children is that they'll ask you questions that you haven't thought about.
Exactly.
So you don't want to be the punch keeper as a parent and say, no, don't ask that. But you can say, let's research it. Let's go to our phones, 30 minutes, let's find out and come back and discuss. And then you're also encouraging your child to have a curious mind, to also have a feeling of it's okay to share my opinion, it might be wrong, but it's okay to share my opinion.
It is my freedom to do so. I absolutely love that, lest we forget. And I love the fact that this is new history. As I said, this is the modern South African history where we stand right now. We're making it every day. We are going to continue our chat in just a moment, more parenting talk, and we are connecting with Freedom Day and how you can relate the importance of this day, the history of this day to your child.
simple as CBD should be.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso, and we are back with parent, coach, and educational consultant Ayanda Tetiana discussing the right time to start educating our children about Freedom Day and the history behind this incredible public holiday. We decided to sub in Ayanda from, of course, Jamie Lee and Graham, just to make sure that we also get into the conversation. So forgive us, but it was just too interesting not to actually join you with this one. But we do have some more questions.
Yeah, no, everyone wants a piece of you this morning, obviously, not just being a parent, but also our viewers here want to hear so much about you. So Colin and I are jumping in on the action, and obviously today is special. I mean, it's an incredible day that it has an opportunity to teach some valuable lessons, right? And our question maybe is, what are some of those key talking points parents should be using when conveying the symbolism of this day? And the symbolic meaning behind this obviously is huge, right?
Yeah, it's so many things. You know, we're talking human rights, we're talking social justices, we're talking just freedom to be, as a South African, able to go wherever you want to go, to use whichever toilet you want to use. And for me, it's not only speaks to the history of what has happened in the past, but it speaks towards other minority groups that are coming up in the country, that we as people have to learn to respect their individual freedoms, you know, LGBTQ plus people, you know, everyone. We need to, people of different races, just being able to say, you know what, let's love each other as human beings, so that we don't have the things that we're dealing with today, which is like the bullying, you know, the humiliation, the shaming that's happening. You know, it breaks my heart so much when I see this thing still happening in our schools. And you look at these young people who are supposed to be the hope of our nation, maybe not being taught properly to a certain extent to how to respect and love their peers, you know, and for me, it cringes. It makes me so unhappy because I'm just thinking about the kind of adults they will be if these things are not corrected. So it's so important to just know how to love and respect each other, even if we're coming from different backgrounds, even if we are different. Even if you look different, you may have a different ability. There's so many, the diversity of South Africa is just beautiful, and we all should be able to celebrate that.
Ayanda, I've got quite a loaded question for you here, and this is actually about the amount of authority that us parents have with kids, given the fact that a lot of information that they consume is on social media and on TikTok. There's a lot of stories going around. Furthermore, when it comes to that authority, there's also the jaded parent who has a conversation with a significant other, and that's an earshot of a lot of the youngsters. This, of course, cultivates this idea of negativity toward the country. And in fact, I had a conversation around voting time with an 18-year-old the other day, and it seems like the ideas around youth and the way they're feeling about this country, it's really negative. Do we actually have a platform as parents to incite real change for these individuals?
Sure, I think, yeah, that's a loaded one.
Told you.
I mean, for me, sorry, say that again?
No, I said that, I told you that it would be a bit loaded, but take your time. Let me just hear what you have to say about inciting real change in a world where the credibility and the authority seems to be on social media.
Well, for me, in my household, I encourage individual change in that I don't necessarily want to look at the country because I can't really control what the government does. I mean, I can because I vote, and I'm very excited about that. And that's something I never miss out on the opportunity to do. I take my children with me when I go to vote.
Yeah.
You know, it's unfortunate some of our polling stations get really full, but we'll have our snacks and we'll go there. But for me, that change starts with little things. So I'm not going to wait for the government to make a big change, but how we act in our household, how I teach my children to treat other people. Those small, you know, picking up papers when we walk and we see a paper that shouldn't be on the outside in our environment. All of those little things for me are very important towards building that bigger picture, because the same young person then becomes a leader in the near future. And I want them to have that responsibility to know that they can change the things that they are within their control. Not necessarily, you know, the whole world. You know, I can't stop Putin from starting a war, but what can I do in my environment? And I think all of us, we come from different environments, we have different resources, but there's so much that we can do. Yes, we can sit here and we can cry about, the corruption in this country, the things that are not going wrong. But I'd like us to say, where are the retired teachers? How can they start Saturday schools and aftercare programs in our communities so that our children can start getting the support they need so that they can learn and improve their grades? I'd like to see that kind of a community outreach where every single one of us is becoming an activist for change in that way. With what you have, what can you do? Take a girl child, find a young boy who doesn't have a father, be a mentor to them, because we know there's an issue of fatherlessness in our country. I'd really like for people to start saying, what can I do with the power that I have? And then I think we won't feel so helpless.
Ayanda, you have been an absolute breath of fresh air when it comes to this perspective, and it's so pertinent. Everything that you said this morning, what an incredible discussion, and what a great view on how to be a parent in this day and age, especially when it comes to all the sort of challenges that we are facing when bringing up these kids. But thank you so much for this morning's conversation. It's been an enlightening one, and it's been an inspiring one, and I can hear all the passion coming through from you. So I hope you enjoy your freedom. I hope you get to celebrate it with your family today. And thank you so much for your time this morning.
My pleasure. We have a whole lot of movies about the history, and that's basically what we're going to be doing. And I'd encourage a lot of parents to do that as well.
Yeah. Indeed. Let's take action this beautiful day and maintain the purity of Freedom Day.
Thank you so much, Ayanda, and gentlemen, a fantastic discussion. Let's move from the EQ and the intellectual development of our children to their health and physical well-being, and keeping little ones hydrated, absolutely vital. As baby starts the weaning process, which is around 6 months old, water and some suitable teas and juices start to play an important role. And to pack this topic further is our good friend on the show, and someone I have leaned on with both of my children many times, pediatric dietitian Kath McGaw. Kath, great to have you back.
Great.
After such a complex discussion, we're honing in on something quite simple now. We need water. Water is life. Our children absolutely need it. Why is it so important that we keep our little ones hydrated, for them specifically?
Well, children struggle with constipation, and especially when you start solids, they often, the solids are no more liquid that they were just drinking.
System,
exactly. And so encouraging water. Well, parents always ask me, when can you start? And I say, well, when you start solids, that would be a good time to start adding extra liquid into their diet. Okay. So, and they also just need it for their brain development. Actually needs water. If you think our bodies are made up of 82% water, and so replenishing all the time, and they've got little bodies, and so they're using up the
cycle goes much quicker.
Exactly.
Thought of it like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you say when you're introducing solids, great time to introduce the water. Is there a general, I mentioned 6 months around that time, and does this cover teas and other juices, other hydration?
Yes, teas are absolutely also wonderful. Rooibos tea is particularly good. That's for example, like the Purity strawberry flavored and the chamomile, those are absolutely wonderful teas, and the flavoring is actually quite pleasant for the child and introduces them to more flavors, which is what you're wanting to do in those early years.
Yeah, because you shoot yourself in the foot if you limit them too early on, and I'm discovering that with one of my children now. We've changed our whole kind of mindset, and now it's like, I want them to eat what I eat, because that's what they're going to eat for the rest of their lives. I don't want their foundation to be set on something that is unrealistic completely. That being said, we want to ensure that this does become a habitual thing. How do we make sure that this is there regularly? How do we start to introduce this kind of proper water drinking or hydration, if you will?
So I think there's certain times of day, it's quite fun if you say, well, when you wake up in the morning, you have a glass of water, maybe put a little glass of water by teeth brushing, and at the end of the day by teeth brushing, when they come home in the car, send in a little juice Tetra Pak with to school and to their little play group is a wonderful way to encourage them to drink. It's also a wonderful way to teach the skill of actually sipping out of a straw. Because with the Tetra Paks, you can even squeeze the little boxes and they actually learn, oh, when I sip, then something comes out. So it's actually more than just the hydration, you're actually teaching a skill.
Yeah, they're getting the fine motor skills going. And of course they need, like you say, they're living very busy little lifestyles, and I find my child's schedule during the day is intense. Even if he's just going to creche, then it's play ball, and it's this, and they need to stay replenished. Can a juice be a go-to snack, or can we not supplement the one with the other? What would you recommend for a kind of a snack to keep them hydrated and keep them going?
Yeah, I think for children on the go, and when they're going from one activity to another, a little juice with a little like biscuit or a little small sandwich is a wonderful way to just complement a little muffin, to complement a little snack along the way. And so you're not only keeping them hydrated, they've got a little bit of extra energy, they've got a little bit of extra vitamin C, and so all the little things that just come in that is wonderful.
And I love the fact with the purity, I know how much work you guys have done in that space to ensure that you are getting exactly what it says on the box and nothing else. I absolutely love it. And I would add to that, just think about how good you feel about yourself when you're getting enough water in. It's as simple as that. Our bodies, as you said, are made up of over 80% water. Our bodies need to stay hydrated, and it's even more important for our little ones. And you can get your little tots exploring not only the wonderful textures, but the flavors with the ready-to-drink Tetra juices and teas. And they obviously taste amazing as well, which is great for the little ones. But most importantly, start that routine of hydration and keep yourself hydrated in the process as well.
I hope you'll always know how much I love you. I hope that you never stop learning and growing.
It all begins with purity.
We are celebrating Mother's Day with Panado. Join Expresso weekday mornings to stand a chance of winning 2,500 Rand per day until Tuesday, 10th of May. Nominate a phenomenal mother by replying to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook or Twitter pages and tell us why they are a magnificent mother. Remember to tag the person you are nominating and to use hashtag Panado and hashtag A Dose of Care. Competition closes Tuesday, 10th of May at 8 a.m. when our 10th winner will be announced. T's and C's to be found on expressoshow.com.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Happy Freedom Day. It is a public holiday. And throughout the show, we've been speaking about various topics, but also one of parenting. Now, we all know that being a mom is no easy task. I mean, this one was just complaining earlier on, saying that he hasn't slept for 4 days. But even being a mom, it's trying to, juggle work and family life. Now, if one thing is certain, it's that our mothers have superpowers. We know that, especially in the kitchen. Now, we've been asking all our amazing moms out there to join the Easter holiday conversation, and we are loving your hashtag Real Mom Stories. Now, one comment from Raiseja Shadung, who stood out, and this lucky viewer has not only won an air fryer, which we've been hyping up for the longest time, but will also be sharing her hashtag Real Mommy story with us today. Congratulations, Mama, and welcome to the show. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, everyone. I'm doing well, thanks, and yourselves.
We are loving life on this Freedom Day, so thank you so much for connecting with us this morning. I'm going to start with the comment that you posted, and it was beautiful. It said, my hashtag Real Mom Easter holiday moments are when my mum goes all out, making sure the family gets the best breakfast, lunch and dinner prepared with Simply Chicken products. She makes sure we spend quality time as a family while enjoying her best meals, always prepared with love and warmth, because that's how Mama makes it. We love that. A fantastic story. What was your favorite dish, I've got to ask, of the weekend? What food stood out for you in your Easter celebrations?
Okay, we had different ones, right? But the one that stood out, we had cheesy potato salad mixed with Simply Chicken nuggets.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay, now you just made us hungry.
How come we've never made that on the show before?
I know. We're definitely going to make that, but we are now hungry. Thank you for that. But what do you love the most about your mom's cooking? Because, I mean, whenever we speak about mom's cooking, we always talk about the comfort, the homey, the foodiness. What do you love about your mom's cooking?
Okay, my mom was one person. When she prepares her food, she takes her time, she prepares with passion. So her food always tastes better every time she prepares. She loves when she prepares it with love and warmth, and it's one of the ingredients making her food to taste wowish.
And we're looking at photos of, I'm assuming, you and your gorgeous sister with your mom as well. And clearly she has taken amazing care of you and got that balancing act right. And I think hopefully you're going to follow in that wonderful tradition. But the most important question this morning is, what are you going to make with your brand new air fryer? What's the first meal you're going to cook in your new air fryer?
That's a tricky one, hey? But since I'm a person who loves quick and simple meals and fast food, but at the same time, I don't like oily food. So I will try Simply Chicken as steakless. That will be the first one that I'm going to try.
They are perfect.
Try it,
We've done it. We've proven it. They are great.
Don't worry. He doesn't have an air fryer yet, so he doesn't know what he's talking about. But it's simple, it's yummy. You don't need to use oil. It's the best thing.
It's amazing. It's changed
your life. I also want to ask you, what do you think your mom's superpower is besides making you the best food ever?
I'll say multitasking, because with moms, they can do everything at the same time. So she can cook, clean, and then be there for us at the same time. While for some of us who are teenagers, it's not really something that is simple. But for our moms, which is my mom, then it's so simple for her to do all those things at the same time.
I love it, because moms are superheroes. You've got the most beautiful family. I'm so glad we got to celebrate with you this morning. Raiseja, thank you so much for entering on behalf of your super mom, and enjoy your air fryer. Please post pictures of whatever you make with it. We'd love to see those creations, but so cool to be making you a winner this morning. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for choosing me as a winner, and then enjoy your Freedom Day.
Woohoo! You too, girl.
We will.
Oh, lovely.
She is so lovely, and her mom is beautiful. I'm just hearing a story, and now again I'm hungry. But of course, you at home can keep meals simple, and it has never been this easy. Now all you have to do is follow @SimplyChickenZA on Instagram for those quick and easy recipes. Remember, you also stand the chance to win an air fryer. I'm going to keep pumping this, plugging you guys with the Simply Chicken too. Now simply reply to the competition post on the Expresso Facebook, that is our Twitter or our Instagram page, and tell us your #RealMomEaster holiday stories.
And of course, you not only stand the chance of winning that amazing air fryer that I don't have yet, but also a chance to tell your story on Expresso and automatically be entered into that draw for the grand cash prize of 10,000 Rand. Awesome. So please don't forget that all-important #RealMom in the answer. Your competition closes this particular round on the 29th. That's this Friday at midday. But you can find all the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. Good luck. I'm parched. I need a milkshake, please. 2 milkshakes would be great.
All right, we are the boys, and we have been brought to the yard. Yeah, right. It could be better than yours. The reason why is Milkshake. And the other reason is our referee, Jamie Lee, is going to take us through our paces.
Oh, you guys are ready. I'm glad that the Milkshake is bringing all of these boys to the yard, because it's time, everybody, to put our presenters, our boys, to the test this morning. And they are getting so ready, getting so amped, because the Milkshake skills is going to be put to the test this morning. Now, we can't think of a better way to make the most of this Freedom Day than with a Super M. Now, whether you are kicking it back in your gown whilst watching your feel-good breakfast show, or that braai with the fam later, make it more magical with Super M. So to celebrate this auspicious occasion, we are going to be whipping up a few South African favourites. So boys, it is your time to shine. Now, we know that one of the most iconic Mzansi faves is milk tart. We love it. Everybody loves it. But have you ever tried to make it as a drink?
I'm going to try that today.
Mr. Carlitos.
I think the great thing about milk tart is that it's quite simple on the palate. On the nose, you need to get cinnamon. On the palate, you need to just get the creaminess of the milk. And I feel like I got that. I got the Super M vanilla flavor. And I think I'm going to just add some cinnamon to that and then try with a bit of vanilla ice cream to kind of strengthen that flavor. And hopefully I'll get there.
Why do you look nervous?
I'm not nervous. I've got one of South Africa's favourites, a peppermint crisp. I mean, come on. We can say no to this. I do have more ingredients than Carl, so he's very upset by this because he thinks it's unfair.
No,
I don't know.
Actually, I'm okay.
As a South African, you've had both, right?
I've had both,
What's your favourite?
So the other one, what Charles speaking about, is the South African classic, which is a peppermint crisp tart, and it is making it in a drink form. It is super easy. So both of these...
Super easy indeed.
I wouldn't be able to choose. I wouldn't be able to choose. Milk tart is my favourite on a Sunday.
Oh, you got the leap.
Also on a Sunday. I don't know. So it's up to you. You guys get to create this drink.
Okay.
All right. Are you going to take
No
that through, or are we just going straight into it?
We're going to go straight. Well, you have to give us a countdown. We have to do this, eh?
This is the competition.
Three,
Wow. All right.
2, 1. Let's start.
Bum, bum, bum.
Milkshake
All right.
Okay.
Let's
go.
go. My
Are you
hero
using
ingredient,
chocolate?
the Super M. We'll pop that in there first, the mouse tart. Carl, how are you doing over there?
I'm okay, thank you. I just have to make sure that I'm doing right by my milk tart here. So
Ice cream going on as well.
Notice we don't use all the ingredients just yet.
Okay. You learned from last week, right?
Yes.
Carl, take us through the process.
Well, the process here is that I just want to make sure that I've got a bit of the... I don't want too much cinnamon coming through. So what I've done is I've done my first blend without cinnamon. My second blend will top it with the cinnamon. So then you'll get like a couple of layers of the cinnamon that will come through as well, which is going to be great. So this is what I'm trying to do here, is like almost your top is going to have a bit of the cinnamon flavor coming through. And then we're going to finish it off with some marshmallows, which I think is going to be quite a treat on the top of it like that. And then I think just for the smoky flavor, let me just bring this out and see what...
Wow. Okay, someone's showing off today.
What a show off. Yeah, I can't believe you just did that.
Then
Now you have to step up your game, okay? Take us through your process, because I see a lot of layers going on, a lot of chocolate, yumminess.
Yes.
Take us through the process.
I got the caramel, I got the normal sensations that you would absolutely crave from a peppermint crisp, right? But what we're doing is we're also going to bring that nostalgia back, but actually reincorporating it right at the top as
stuff to the back.
as a little drizz at the same time.
Wow, can you be this extra?
I just want to clean my station, man. Sorry, man. Just
as I was saying.
Yes.
I'm going to give about 5 more seconds, Ryle.
5 more seconds is fine. So what I'm doing is I'm incorporating 2 layers, a milkshake layer, and then we're going authentic back on the top, just with some drizz and bringing that peppermint sensation back to it. 1 more dollop.
Wow.
Voila.
There we go.
It is
3, 2,
done.
1, it is done.
It is done.
It's done.
I didn't keep
This looks
count right now.
delicious.
This looks very delicious. Both of that look so sweet. I want to dig into both of them. But of course, it's not up to me. It's up to you at home. So please, what you need to do right now is head on over to our social media pages and let us know which one of these are your favorite, just by the look and just about the feels and how they created this. And whilst you're at it, let us know how you'll be making the most of your day, this Freedom Day with Super M.
Right. And
I'm
also,
so
when
glad
you
I
judge
did
it,
cases.
power tools don't count in the judgment.
Do you mind if I taste yours?
Oh, yeah, can I taste yours?
Yeah, of course. Let me just see what you've got here.
Why are you smelling it?
Okay, no.
Well played, lad.
This is a draw. This is a draw. It's a tie. It's so good.
Yeah. Giving me the shakes.
It's going to be a hot day in the big city. Super M, anytime gap filler. Made with love by Clover. Oh, you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy Freedom Day, South Africa. Welcome back, you beautiful souls. Oh, we have got just the treat for you and the perfect way to celebrate this most auspicious day. This gorgeous human being Nsika is in the house. The sound check already blew us away. He is going to take your breath away this morning. An unbelievable vocalist, an incredible human being. Cannot wait to hear him perform in just a moment, but let's get through those official duties with the news first.
Thank you so much, G. And I'll start on the national front. Now, gold and platinum producer Sibanye Stillwater in Western Area says it will not increase its current wage offer to workers. Last week, Sibanye increased its offer to 850 Rand a month from the previous offer of 700 Rand, which was rejected by unions. The 2 major trade unions, the Association of Mine Workers and Construction Union and the National Union of Mine Workers, declared a strike on the 9th of March, demanding a monthly increase of 1,000 Rand. Sibanye says workers participating in the unprotected strike have lost many thousands of rands in wages. Then the South African Farmers Development Association, SAFTA, has released a preliminary report on the effects the floods in KZN and elsewhere have had on farmers. It says more than 49 million rand will be required to replant crops and 42 million rand to repair infrastructure. Waterlogging has been experienced by most farmers, resulting in damage to the roots of crops and the leaching of inputs such as fertilizer and chemicals. SAFTA said some farmers had lost all their crops because of soil erosion and would have to undertake a complete replant. Then looking to news on the international front, Germany's ambassador to the US, Emily Haber, says that in addition to sending anti-aircraft tanks to Ukraine, Germany will also be training Ukrainian soldiers on German soil. Meanwhile, Russia's defense ministry has said the UK is provoking Ukraine into launching an attack in Russia. News agencies said the Russian army was ready to deliver retaliatory strikes against decision-making centers in Kyiv using high-accuracy weaponry. Earlier, UK Armed Forces Minister James Heapy said that the weapons provided to Ukraine by the international community had the range to strike in Russia. And then a second Ebola patient has died in the northwestern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, the DRC. Genetic testing showed an infection confirmed last week in the city of Mbandaka was a new spillover event, a transmission from an infected animal not linked to any previous outbreaks. The second fatality was a 25-year-old woman, the sister-in-law of the first deceased. The country's equatorial forests are a natural reservoir for the Ebola virus, which was discovered near the Ebola River in the north of the DRC in 1976. And then a 70-ton sperm whale washed up on a beach in Ningbo City, East China last week. Local firefighters and volunteers spent 20 hours keeping it alive. Now, rescuers poured water on the almost 20-meter whale while also digging a trench pool filled with seawater. Fortunately, the whale was not badly injured because the beach was flat with few stones. Now, making every effort to save the whale's life, rescuers decided to keep it cool and moisturize it in its current position and wait for the incoming tide before attempting to move it. When the tide reached its highest, 5 boats were used to haul the massive whale back to sea. According to Zai Hongshang, a senior engineer with the Ministry of Natural Resources and one of the rescue experts at the scene, said that there are not many successful cases of rescuing stranded giant whales globally. He also added, "But the moment I saw the whale dive, it was all worth it." On that beautiful note, that is where I leave your 7 o'clock news headlines. We will be back on the top of the hour with the end of those news headlines, but right now it's time to have another look at the sports with G-Man.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Let's start with a 7-goal thriller last night. Manchester City now have the slenderest of leads to defend in the second leg of their Champions League semi-final against Real Madrid. That was after winning a thrilling first leg 4-3 at the Etihad last night. Kevin De Bruyne, Gabriel Jesus, Phil Foden and Bernardo Silva all on target for Pep's men, who should have scored many more, in fact. But Karim Benzema's double again and a brilliant individual effort from Vinicius Jr. gave Madrid the slenderest of hopes of another famous Champions League fight back at the Santiago Bernabeu. That, of course, is on the 4th of May. And City might live to regret their missed chances during those 90 minutes. Hosts twice had a 2-goal cushion and, of course, registered 16 attempts on goal. Then we bring it back home for more footballing news. It's the business end now. Mamelodi Sundowns will be looking to successfully defend their league title by avoiding a defeat against Cape Town City at Loftus Versfeld tonight at 7:30. The Brazilians, who are undefeated in their last 2 matches in the league, are now placed at the top of the league standings, 12 points clear of second place and surprise outfit this season, Royal AM. But the former do have a game in hand. So Sundowns need just a point from their encounter against City in order to clinch this season's league championship and what would also be a record-extending 5th successive league title. Then elsewhere, Kaizer Chiefs will kick off the day's action at 3 p.m. They'll be travelling to Golden Arrows, and Orlando Pirates will be hosting Chippa United from 5 p.m. today as well. Then I think we can get hopefully, once again, about a return for former men's tennis world #1, Roger Federer. It looks like he'll be set to play at the ATP Basel Indoor Tournament in October, organisers have said. And Federer, who hasn't played competitively since losing losing last July in the quarterfinals of Wimbledon to Pole Hubert Hurkacz, replied to the organisers' Instagram account to their announcement with a message saying, looking forward to playing back home. Now, the tournament, like the 10-time winner, will be making its return after an enforced break, having not taken place for the past 2 years due to COVID-19. Federer withdrew from the Olympics last year and had to undergo his third bout of knee surgery in 18 months. In fact, only played 19 matches across the 2020-21 season. Now let's throw it forward to next year's Formula One circuit. Formula One teams have all agreed in principle to double the number of sprint events to 6 in 2023. That was on a meeting yesterday, but formal approval was stalled by the governing FIA, who called for a further evaluation. So the world body said in a statement that the proposal was to use the same format as this season, with points awarded to the top 8 in the 100-kilometre Saturday sprint event, but it reserved judgment. Now, supermajority is required for the change to take effect next year, and the FIA hold a third of the votes on the commission. The first sprint of this season was held at Imola in Italy over the weekend, with Formula One's managing director Ross Brawn spelling out the desire for more after the format was first trialled back in 2021. We love it. It adds to the sport, so let's hope that that gets across the line. But that's where we leave our sporting headlines for now. Let's bring you up to speed with the latest on the weather front and then see how the skies look above your house.
Thanks so much, G. It's time to take a look at the weather once again and report on weather news. Now, Parliament has established a special committee to oversee the implementation of flood relief measures and rebuilding in flood-devastated KwaZulu-Natal and parts of the Eastern Cape. Now, the two houses of Parliament, the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces, in separate plenary sessions yesterday, unanimously adopted motions to establish the Joint Ad Hoc Committee. Now, tabling the motion in the National Assembly, ANC Chief Whip Pemi Majordina said the committee would oversee the response and implementation of relief measures by the government. Now, it will also confer with other committees that have a direct interest in the events to facilitate coordinated oversight and exercise its powers, including those to summon any person to appear and give evidence and to produce documents. Well, from our weather news to our sunrise views this morning, and of course, always celebrating the incredible shots that you guys send in for us. And starting us off once again this morning, we've got Nancy Govender from Pennington in KZN, who kicks us off at 7 a.m. with an update of this creative shot overlooking the peaceful ocean, showing off the sun just managing to break through the cloud cover. And look at that perspective shot through that little silhouetted moment right there. Absolute magic indeed. Then Suzette Kun from J-Bay sharing this beautiful view as she also starts her day overlooking the ocean, showing off a beautiful orange-hued sky. When you have a sunrise and an ocean combined, it's purely the stuff of magic. I can't thank you enough, Mzansi, for sending those pictures through and keep bringing them on, because we love seeing how you wake up wherever you are in the country. For now, though, let's look at the rest of the country and those temperatures. And starting on Polokwane, rain expected on your side of the world, 11 moving up to 20 degrees. Mbombela, not too much rainfall, 11 up to 22. Pretoria, moderately sunny day with a little bit of drizzle. We've got 11 all the way up till 21. And Joburg, 9 up until 19 degrees with sunny skies. Over in Mahikeng, your day starting at 9, moving up to 22. Klerksdorp sees the day starting at 6, all the way up to 23 degrees. Kimberley sees a start of 7, moving up to 22. And Bloemfontein, sunny skies, a chilly start of 2 degrees, moving all the way up to 20 degrees Celsius. Over in Richards Bay, your day starts at 13, moving up to 22 with some rain coming through. Pietermaritzburg, predominantly sunny skies, a little bit of drizz, 13, moving up to 22. Durban sees the day starting at 14, moving up to 22. And Mthatha, 6 is your low, moving up to a high of 19 degrees Celsius. Over in East London now, the day starting at 12, moving up to 20 degrees with some rainfall coming through and hopefully catching in those catchment areas. Cradock sees the day starting at 13, moving up to 21. Berga, 13, moving up to 20. George, all the way up from 11 to 21 is your maximum. Now over in the mother city, your day starting at 13, moving up to a nice moderately warm 22. Worcester, sunny skies, 18, moving up to 23. Sutherland, a little bit of a chillier start, 7, moving up to 20. And Uppington, 15 is a low, moving up to a nice warm Freedom Day temperature of 28 degrees Celsius. Again, Mzansi, thank you for sending those incredible pictures in. And hey, speaking of incredible, let's chat to this next guest.
Indeed incredible. I'm going to tell you now the temperature will be rising with regard to the performances you will see. We are joined this morning by multi-award-winning songwriter, singer and lead composer and member of the internationally acclaimed a cappella group, The Soil, Ntsika. is here on your couch on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And Sika closed out a series of performances at the Baxter last weekend and is headed next to Bizana for another magical show featuring the Queen of Gospel, Lebo Sekgobela, as well as prolific jazz artist Dumza Maswana at the Wild Coast Resort on Friday, which is going to be super exciting. I feel like you need to take a sneak peek. Take a look at this. How's that for a teaser? The vocal, the pipes are going there. It's like that. I can feel like your throat is feeling Freedom Day.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey,
for
man,
sure.
it's Sika. It's so great to have you on the couch
Thanks
this morning.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks a lot for taking a public holiday to chat to us as well.
Anytime.
You could have been sleeping in, but you're here with us, which is so important, and we love having you here. So I want to start. Let's go all the way back to 2019, I think it was, where I Write What I Dream came out, and that particular album gave you so many, like acclaim points in your life with regard to Samas that we'll chat about in a second. But let's go all the way back there, and then the 2 years that was in between.
Of course.
How did things change for you? I mean, such a great album, and then we went straight into lockdown. How was that?
So that album was truly beautiful, and everything that happened to it and around it was meant to be, because in its infancy stages, how I received the album, the music, it was through a series of dreams that I got from my forefathers, gifting me the songs. And each time I woke up, I would then relive them in studio. And fast forward to then 2 years later, when lockdown happened and COVID happened, my music became that spiritual companion for people. And I really love how it just continued to resonate with people's souls.
Indeed, well, when it's that authentic, when it comes from your forefathers, I think there's something in there. And I always wonder, like, how that happened for you. Did you wake up that morning and say, hey, I have had a dream, I need to write this down immediately, or did it just sit with you throughout the entire day until you got to the studio? Was it like that?
So it bugs you, you know? Yeah. And you never forget the lyrics. And besides, dreaming about songs started from an age of 6 years old, but these ones were more intense because they were meant for me and for me to chart my own journey outside of the group. And it did not mean that I was leaving the group. It was just saying it was my time to then push this medicinal music to parts that I wouldn't have reached if I was with the group, you know?
No, I completely understand that, because the mind is soil. You just removed some of the plants and made something happen with it.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
Ooh.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. I'm awake this morning. I'm so awake. Now, when I look at the acclaim of the album, I mean, it must have been so great for you to have those Sama nominations and the Afro Music Awards as well. What was it like for you to take something like your forefathers talking to you, writing that down, that authenticity now being rewarded with award nominations and that sort of thing? That must have been incredible for you to be rewarded for just being you, just making sure that you listen to those that came before you.
Yeah, so it's beautiful to get respect from your peers. Yes. But it's also beautiful to get respect from critics. Critics sit on these decision-making tables, and when they then decide that your body of work is worthy of a nomination, that on its own, it's a win, you know? Yes. But I give my music from a source that neither needs applause for it to continue. Whether I get the applause or not, this music is there to heal people. And when the recognition comes and the awards, I mean, they are good for the shelf, you know?
No, of course, they are good for the shop, exactly, because we can actually see the dream when we walk into your space, which is so important as well. Now, let's look at these events you're doing. You got a tour series, okay? And this particular series, it's an intimate evening with Nsika. And I'm thinking about why you chose an intimate evening. I mean, you know, crowds are allowed now. We've got 50% capacity.
For sure.
Why you go intimate? What is the special thing about having those types of events?
Yeah, I think there's magic in having smaller audiences, because they can not just buy tickets, but also bring their golden hearts, their pure spirits. And I get to also break down the songs and tell them how exactly I received which song from which forefather or from which makulu, you know? And people just get transported with me to the spiritual world. And once the show is done, we bow, we come back to planet Earth, and it's all good and merry.
It's like a collective dreaming session. Yeah. Music is the vehicle. That is so great, man. I know. What am I? Maybe my forefathers are talking to me. I don't know. And Sika's going to be performing just for you a little bit later in your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Make sure you stick around for that. And trust me, the forefathers will be chatting to you through Sika right here on Freedom Day. So we're going to feel that. And as I said, it's from the soil the plants have been cultivated. Let us rejoice.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back, just in time to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And if we didn't tell you again, happy Freedom Day, South Africa today. Of course, is a very special and very important day for our country. So let's maybe just take a moment to reflect on what today is all about. Now, today, the 27th of April, marks the end to over 300 years of colonialism as well as segregation. Now, we celebrate Freedom Day to commemorate the first democratic election that was held, which was on this day in 1994.
Yeah, now every single citizen in this country was afforded the right to vote, regardless of the color of their skin. Now, the world then witnessed the inauguration of South Africa's first black president, Nelson Mandela. Now, as a country, we have made progress since then. However, the specter of inequality, poverty, and unemployment remains one of the most glaring impediments to our country's goal of national unity. Now, we should use this day to not only reflect, but to pledge towards fighting against inequality. And many sacrifices were made by patriots of our past in order to ensure a democratic society. Therefore, it's important to remember that all this came at a price and many lives were lost fighting for our freedom.
And the reason why we're explaining this to you is because sometimes a public holiday, it gets diluted by the fact that you have a day of work. But we must know what the theme is. We must know why we are celebrating. And this year's theme is really just centered around the recent vaccination drive. The government would like to urge everyone to come together to continue the fight against the virus, ensuring that in doing so, we strive for a greater inclusion and social cohesion. This year, we also marked the 150th anniversary of the struggle icon, Charlotte Maxeke, who is also known as the mother of black freedom. She was part of our liberation heritage, and along with others, she fought oppression with a relenting force at the time. And may we all celebrate today and not forget why we do this incredible thing. I know it's a public holiday, but happy Freedom Day, South Africa. Let's find out a bit more as to how people are celebrating and using and exercising your freedom responsibly on this gorgeous public holiday.
Yeah, let's see what they say.
What do you think they're going to say? I think everyone's just going to be Brian.
Chilling.
Chilling.
Staying in the gown. I just want everyone to stay in the gown because Graham said stay in your gown, so that's what we have to do.
Start your day in the gown, have some coffee, turn on our show, of course, and then afterwards you're inspired to just go and slay the rest of the day and make the most of it. I like that.
Let's see what everyone is saying online. We have a top fan coming through, Joan Cameron, saying, Happy Freedom Day to everyone. Enjoy yourselves in whatever you choose to do today. I'll be watching a movie. So she's chilling, hopefully, in your gown. We love that.
Love it. Seraf Majoro actually says, Happy Freedom Day to the Expresso team. Yay. Today I plan to stay indoors and spend time with my family. Perfect. perfect
That's
plan.
what you need,
I can't think of anything better, especially when it's with loved ones. I mean, that's what this day is about. Not only your own freedom, but being able to share that freedom with the people that matter to you. And that's what we're doing right now. We're choosing to spend it with you. And we've got some more comments coming through.
Indeed. Linda Toller saying, good morning, Expresso Show team, and happy Freedom Day. My plans today is to watch Expresso Show. Well done. Ticks the box. Hello. And then spend time with my family. I'd also like to wish my little sister, my Lebo Tolo, happy birthday. I love her so much. A birthday on Freedom Day?
Hey, happy birthday, my Lebo!
We also have Penio saying, happy Freedom Day, fam. I don't have any plans. I'll be indoors with my kids. And I think that's like the thing. Everyone's doing that. People staying indoors. But if you are spending time with the kids, remember to reiterate why this day is so important to you and as well as to them. It's very important that they understand why we're celebrating this day today.
Yeah, maybe if you want to do something even more special, then you can head to the kitchen and have some fun. Let's do it now.
Not just fun, get ready for the best brunch ever. Bar none. Hands down, full stop, punt, boom. This Woolies ultimate brunch bagel braai broodjie with mozzarella, mature cheddar, bacon and pepper dews is a must-have for this Freedom Day. Am I going to get sued now that I said pepper dews?
I hope not. Actually, bring it on. We got time.
We are South Africa,
drama.
and we've adopted the pepper dew. I love it. This is very exciting. Look, when we talk about brunch, I suppose there is this thought, like, you want it to be levels. You want it to be zhuzh, because it's special. It's not just a breakfast, it's a brunch.
Right.
It generally ties in with an occasion. So you want what you're going to be creating to be special. I have never, in all of my years, cooking alongside amazing chefs like you, made a brunch braai broodjie like this. Never.
And I think it's amazing because I'm the type of person that looks for any reason to start a braai at like 9 o'clock in the morning.
His fire never goes out, in fact.
It actually, no.
He comes home at night.
It's like the Olympic torch has been burning since 1963. No, okay, so what I love about brunch is you normally have it in a day when you've got time, when you relax with your family.
Rustig.
There's no such thing as a brunch in a rush. This is a really nice one. So get the braai going, maybe plan your lunch on the braai, but then you've got the coals going, so let's make brunch. Obviously, we can't braai in the studio today, so we're going to do the toasted version.
One day they will let us, eh?
One day.
But I like that. That's like a food trajectory for a braai day, where you start and you don't stop eating, and then you build and you build and you build towards the steak or the lamb chops.
Exactly. But aren't those the best days when you just like... Everything's quiet, still not quiet, but surrounding food, and it's like the whole marathon of the day. Just like everything's just about amazing food, amazing people.
If you want quiet in my house, you missed the window. It was about 4 hours ago for 30 minutes or so.
Oh my goodness! No. We also don't do quiet in the home. Okay, so a little bit of butter going into this pan over here. I'm gonna start on the egg because one thing about brunch is you've got to have an egg with it, else it's not brunch.
Yeah, and a good egg.
A good egg. So let's just go with. I'm gonna go with one for now. No, actually, you know what? Let's go two.
I'm glad you're using the adorable mini pan for this.
The mini pans are legendary, and I mean, obviously they were there for the flapjacks, but now we're just using it for everything else.
Everything else.
Everything else. So eggs go in. That's gonna slowly cook, and I've got it on low heat because I need time to make everything else. I've got some of the pepper juice for you.
Okay.
I'll ask you if you can give them like a rough chop. Just a rough chop.
Okay.
Nothing too fine.
Can I steal this fork?
That's for you, and I got you the big knife today.
Thank you,
I'm gonna go into some Woolies bagels. Another brunch classic, bagels. Fill up a little bit. So, like I said, these done on the braai. I don't know why, it's become so smoky, so delicious, more than normal bread.
Because there's a different texture, because the bagels are boiled at some point in their baking process.
Boiled and baked, yeah.
Really? Okay.
Right, I like that. Okay, so, first things first, cheese. We're gonna go with some cheddar and some mozzarella.
I thought you were just making an exclamation there. Cheese!
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 You know what? It is an exclamation, and you can use whatever cheese you want to use. Give me some examples of the cheese that you would use on a braai broodjie.
Oh, a nice, nutty, strong cheddar. I like aged 19 months. Is it a 19-month aged cheddar?
I'll ask cheese developers at Woolies.
They're going to start, then I'm going to have to wait 19 months before I get to taste it. But I'm all about those stronger cheese profiles. But for something like this, because you've got strong flavors there already, I mean, the cheddar will lend itself balance nicely with the bacon, I think. But a softer cheese, like a slightly less strong cheese flavor, like a mozzarella, I think would work well with this, because you've got so many strong flavors there already.
And I like the combination of mixing cheeses. So you're going to get one that's going to give you that flavor. You're going to get one that's going to give you that cheesy pull, that stringiness.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
A bit of Emmenthal.
What? Gee.
Hey.
Look at you. Okay, that looks good. Thank you so much. That's going to go join our cheeses going down. And then in our pan, Perfect. Gee, this
And what we love about these peppers, they've got the sweetness, but they do have a little bit of a zing. They'll give you just a little bit of a warm forehead, hey?
A warm forehead.
That's true, but
all the thermometers right
but
now.
I think about chili and I start to just perspire on my head. That's how it works with me.
And it's addictive. It's addictive. It really is.
Taste, but it is. It's feel good. Those are endorphins releasing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, got your bagel.
Cool.
Now, I didn't butter the tops. If you're going to do it on the grid, on the braai,
butter it
a little bit of
first.
butter
Okay.
over it. I've got some butter in the pan. That's going to go down. Here's the thing. Anytime you apply pressure, you really seal in that crust. A little piece of baking paper.
Ah, okay.
And something that's going to give it a little bit of weight.
Oh, no.
Then we're going to give it a squish and leave it like that. Our eggs are looking beautiful. How do you like your eggs done? Steaks like this?
Yeah, that's my vibe, yeah.
Okay.
As long as the white is predominantly cooked, I'm all about that yolk. I love a runny yolk, and especially when you've got a gorgeous bread like this, and you've got all these lovely flavors, you need that yolk to kind of bind it all together, hey?
It kind of creates a sauce, in a sense, yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly
There
what
we go. Turn that over. We've got a nice little crust happening there.
Wow, look at that.
The baking paper goes back on. We top it, but we're going to fast forward. Okay, so once you get that nice crust on there, you'll notice the heat isn't too hot in there because you want to give the cheese a chance to melt. There's nothing
without burning the outside.
It just hurts me when you get a beautiful crust on a piece of bread, and then you cut into it, and the
And
cheese.
you've still got little, no. When you cut into it and go like that, all we want is strings.
All we want is strings.
There we go.
Poetic musical strings of cheesy loveliness. Okay, cool.
Cheese!
Cheese!
I just had to exclaim cheese.
So there we go. Bagel's done. Take your egg, just top it over the top. Oh, you know what?
What?
Pass me. Yeah, I've got it. Some of this
I'm ready to do it. I'll throw it at you, Evan.
Just throw it. Tangy tomato chutney. I'm going to turn the heat off on the pan now. I've got a nice enough amount of crust on there.
What should you have done? Should this have got in before the...
There we go. Because we've got the tanginess of the pepper juice inside. Now we've got the
Okay, now we've
tomato
got the reddish
on the
outside.
If you've got kids at home, don't do this, but if you've got grown-ups coming over for breakfast, just serve it in the pan. Everybody gets their own little pan.
Oh.
You get a pan. You get a pan. Everybody gets a pan.
Look at that.
This is Caesar stone, so it can take the heat. You're fine. Gee, what do you think?
It's beautiful, and I think, you know, they say only crazy people can do perfect circles, eh? You crazy, yo. You crazy, man. Beautiful. This, and it feels like a braai, and we haven't even gotten through breakfast yet. This is my kind of brunch. Absolutely beautiful. You can find this, woolworths.co.za, and of course you can find all of these beautiful ingredients, these flavors, the punch of flavor, the bazooka blast.
The bazooka blast.
Yeah, at Woolies in-store, or you can shop via the app. A great way to inspire yourself ahead of Freedom Day. And buddy, happy Freedom Day, bro.
Happy Freedom Day. Go be free, go.
You go, you're free.
You go.
Love you guys. You're free to recreate this at home. Go and check out that culinary inspiration at woolworths.co.za.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
A lot of feel-good good. A lot of Freedom Day, and welcome back. This is Expresso, and our next guests are from a community organisation in Cape Town called Project 021, which aims to develop and promote the arts within the Cape Flats. Now, today they have a special stage production. That's right, today. They woke up on the same day. They have a stage production. They woke up for you, which is so, so powerful. The production is called Given to Fly, and this is set to showcase at the Joseph Stone Auditorium in Athlone in Cape Town. It promises to be a thoroughly entertaining, high-energy production which talks about dreams, hope for a better life, and the disappointments met along the way. Just in time for Freedom Day, we have David Cornelson, the founder of the Project 021 movement, I'm going to call it, along with the crew of the stage production at Given to Fly. Tiffany Ball is here, as well as Alex Claassen joining us in studio and on our couch. Everybody, welcome. Why would you wake up so early on your production day? Doesn't matter. It's just happy to have you. I think it's cool. So let me get it right. So it's Alex and Tiffany and David. Let's start with you, David, because Project 021, for anybody who's been under a rock and hasn't been sort of out there scanning the social media sites to find out a bit more, what's the gist of your organization?
The gist goal is really creating opportunities for kids to showcase their creative talents, you know. Many kids don't have that opportunity, and it seems like just a far away dream for them to perform on a stage, be part of a show. So we kind of try to bridge that gap to allow kids, young people, and sometimes older ones as well, to come and be part of something where, because we've got some seriously talented kids in our communities, you know.
I can tell.
Yeah, they don't always know where to go, so we kind of created that environment for them to grow in their creative skills as well.
That is so cool. And I can tell that, you know, the arts themselves, it's about expression, but also it creates opportunities for emotional intelligence for so many people dealing with things. You now have a script to showcase emotion, feel it, and understand emotion. That's what actors do, which is so powerful for anybody who comes to terms with some of the struggles on the Cape Flats. So this is a powerful movement. But for anybody who wants to see Given to Fly, Tiffany, I'm going to ask you, because I would love to know just a bit of a taste bud tantalizer as to why we should come and watch, if there are any tickets left. What is Given to Fly all about?
So Given to Fly is a stage production set in the heart of Manenberg.
Okay.
And so Brenda, Sydney, and their 5 daughters make up the Jacobs family. Their 5 daughters are, you know, faced with so many challenges which they need to overcome. And Sydney, as much as Sydney tries to protect their family, there's only so much he can do as a dad. And, you know, the 5 siblings are raised to norms and standards that are uncommon in the area. And so for that reason, they are known as the Sturvy girls in the community. Yes.
Sturvy girls.
So that is just the gist of what Given to Fly is about. That is not all. That's just, a drop in the ocean.
No, that's good. I just wanted you to give us that. A little synopsis is enough for us, because now we're thinking, okay, what happens next? But Alex, let's go to you now, because you're part of Project 021, and you're part of this entire thing. Tell me a bit more about, like, what do you think it would do for people on the Cape Flats? People who are bored after school, don't really have direction. What has this organization done for you and for many of your friends?
Well, personally, for me, it's really given me a space to be creative and be out there and to, you know, feel comfortable, because I love acting and it's what I want to do with my life. So being able to be a part of it has been amazing, to be able to express myself in that way. And I think it'll just help also, this production, bring awareness to what happens in our communities and to, you know, help our communities in the future, and to also let young people know that they can be out there and be creative and do something fun and out of their comfort zone.
Maybe the struggle is the center of our creativity. Maybe every single time we are faced with strife, that is our potential for a solution. And it can be an entertaining solution through your project, David, which is so great. Is that the dream? To make this a movement of people who are not scared of where they come from, not sad about where they come from, but they are proud, even of the struggles from where they come.
Definitely, Carl. I think a lot of the things that we face and the environmental factors contributes to the person you become. So there are social ills, you know, there are stuff that happens to us, but we also have a destiny, you know. So the things that we face, the things that we go through, creates a character that's unique to the place you come from.
Yes.
So this is what we love where we come from, you know, because there's a spiciness about where we come from.
Yes.
There's a character that's developed in people that go through struggles.
Yeah.
And it's part of what we want to show through the show as well, you know.
And I can feel that from all of the, the cast members. Just the two of them already, I can tell there's super talents here. Yeah. I'm assuming, Tiffany, are you one of the 5 daughters?
Yes, I am.
Okay, one of them. Okay.
I am Tiffany and I play the role of Samantha Jacobs.
And Alex, are you?
I play the role of Deborah, who's the youngest sister. She's the baby of the family.
Oh, this is going to be so... A big one. Are there any tickets left for anybody who's interested to go to the Joseph Stone in Athlone, Cape Town today?
But they can check, Carl, and the last time I checked on web tickets, there were very few left, but that's the place to go to check if there are still seats available. Yeah.
Great stuff. Alex, thank you so much. Tiffany, thank you so much. David, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure. If you want to find out more details, please go and Google Project 021, join up, be a part of a community movement, taking the arts to the next level and making individuals proud from where they come.
Let the arts continue right now on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we've got multi-award-winning artist Ntsika right here to serve fans with some new music, and new music indeed. Now this one is dubbed Al Kabulen, and it's something that's going to give you so much energy. The melody in this song is something that is sure to get you vibing and starting your Freedom Day on the right note. Before we get into it though, what does Al Kabulen mean exactly? Al Kabulen?
Yeah, Al Kabulen is the original name for the mother continent.
Ah, of Africa.
Yeah.
All right, my man, well, bring us home and enjoy it.
is a gift. Walk with pride. Your blood is made of gold. You are royalty.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tika in the building, man. Every single note that came out of your mouth was like poetry in motion. It was a beautiful dance, and I can't thank you enough for just invigorating us with a feeling of Africa. Mzansi, that's how we do it on Freedom Day, and we're going to be celebrating more of this freedom right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show, so don't go anywhere. And we've got 2 more performances from this legend in just a bit. We'll see you soon.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast show right here on Freedom Day as we celebrate now. 2022 marks 28 years since the dawn of democracy in 1994 and fast approaching the 3-decade milestone of the country's constitutional democracy. Now, Iziko Museums of South Africa is commemorating Freedom Day with free entry to selected museums. Yes, enough to celebrate. And that's happening across the city of Cape Town, including the National Museum, Slave Lodge, National Gallery, and Boekap Museums. Now, we are joined today by a beautiful soul. Her name is Melody Kleinsmith. She's the Marketing and Communications Manager and Ambassador for Iziko Museums. So let us give her a welcome to the show. How are you doing, Melody?
Good morning, and thank you very much. I'm doing very well, thank you.
And happy Freedom Day as well.
Yes. Happy Freedom Day to you and all the viewers.
Look, this is an incredible opportunity. Obviously, museums are things that we maybe visited quite a bit in our youth. Today, a lot of information, however, seems to be online. So the accessibility to some of that information is available just at the click of a finger. Why, though, is it still then important to go and view and go visit a museum? I mean, if we've got all this access and information, what's really the point of it all?
Well, I think as human beings, we have a desire to connect, not just online, but physically, in person, and to have tangible experiences. And through a museum visit, individuals have the opportunity to immerse themselves in our history, in our art, in our culture, and the stories and legacies that we haven't engaged with online in that way.
Yeah, I think it's so true because, I mean, just hearing you say that, one of the words that stands out for me is experience. And someone can tell you a story, but if you see some elements of that experience, you literally experience it yourself. You feel the impact of it when you go visit those places. And for me, just thinking back now to some of those moments, it really is powerful stuff.
Yes.
A lot of the time for me, I think, I mean, look at what's happened in the last 3 decades. And it's literally been 3 decades since we've gained our democracy. For now, some people aren't even aware of what was before. New generations in your 20s, the teenagers aren't aware of that world before, though. Why then is it still so important for us to actually celebrate Freedom Day and commemorate this occasion?
You are so right. There are many young people today who do not know what sacrifices were made in order for us to live wherever we want to go to school wherever we please. And I think it is important for us to confront our histories. It is important for young people to learn and understand, but also for the older generation to share the stories that previously were not told or written in the history books. We're such a multifaceted society, and there are so many aspects and facets to our history that people need to become aware of. So one of the ways in which museums attempt to create awareness of that is through research, through education, and through putting together exhibitions that awakens that experience and allow us to reconnect and experience this past. But not just experience the past, because in my opinion, museums are about the future.
Okay, interesting you say that.
So not only are museums about collecting, preserving, and telling the stories of our past, but it also creates opportunities and lessons for our future and for future generations.
I like that, looking at the principle behind it all. Now, I mean, for me, I'm someone that comes from a family, and I'm sure you can possibly relate to this, that has experienced some of what went down 3 decades ago before we gained that democracy. But it's also sometimes a difficult topic to bring up in a conversation. How do you bring up some of the trauma that was experienced? How do you bring that conversation about? And I think, especially now, it is important to have that conversation, but what are some of those ways that you can maybe suggest in terms of having that engagement, having that conversation and bringing that experience back so that we as youngsters can obviously echo that and bring it into the future, maintaining that principle?
Well, firstly, let me say that iziko is an isiXhosa word meaning hearth.
Okay.
And like the hearth, which is the central component of a home, you know, where people sit, you used to sit in the kitchen around the...
You said hearth?
Hearth,
Not hearth?
Yes,
okay,
hearth.
I don't know what a hearth is.
A hearth is a vuurherd.
Oh, okay.
So it's the central place in the home, you know?
Okay, I got you.
The kitchen, the communal spaces, where often stories are shared, where tradition is passed on from mother to daughter, from father to son, and through the generations. And similarly, iziko is a space where knowledge is shared. It's the hearth of our heritage. And so one of the ways, or some of the ways in which to have these conversations is firstly to visit the museum and to have a tangible stepping stone from which to have that conversation. Some of the exhibitions at the Zico Slave Lodge is about our surnames. So my naam is February. How our surnames came about is one of the ways in which to start that discussion.
Absolutely incredible stuff. And this is powerful indeed, Mzansi. Now, this is maybe us encouraging you right now, especially today on Freedom Day, a day that we are commemorating as well as celebrating. It's your opportunity to go and visit any of these museums. Now, they are free for your entry today, so it's an opportunity for you to learn, to reconnect, and of course, to take with you all these incredible principles with many of us, especially for what our forefathers have fought for. So, I can't thank you enough, obviously, for being with us today, for being a part of the history of obviously keeping it rife and keeping our education on the utmost when it comes to being important. And for you, I hope you have an incredible Freedom Day too.
Thank you so much. And please come visit the museum soon.
I will be there, Mzansi. That's your call, of course, to go and make the most of today. Go visit those museums and go get yourself educated.
Guess what, everybody? It's Woza Pasta Wednesday with Fatties and Monies again, and we are welcoming legendary chef Ruben Riffel along with award-winning actress Thembi Siete into the Expresso kitchen to create a simple yet sensational pilchard puttanesca style recipe which will surprise and delight the whole family's taste buds. Someone that needs to pinch me because you two are legendary. I mean, two of you in the kitchen and it smells amazing. So welcome back to the kitchen.
Thank you. Excited
it's great to be here, Jamie.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You've been cooking up a storm over there and I see a lot of layers. So you need to tell us exactly what is going in there.
What are you putting together?
Look, so we've started this already because it takes a little bit of time. So we call it puttanesca style, you know, but really we're looking for more of a sort of a local flavor in terms of the name because it's got a local flavor. We're using pilchards instead of where the traditional Italian recipe they use anchovies.
Okay.
So it's got you know, like that little bit of a salty take to a pasta. The olives, you have the capers, and then you have, you know, the pilchards that goes in there.
I mean, that's what I paid attention to, that you actually had added all the herbs and the olives, and there were no like spices, and it's just really difficult to use only herbs and not like be tempted to use different spices.
Yeah.
I am just looking forward to taste it. But with the pasta, can you use a different shape than this one?
Yeah,
you can use the same recipe with a different shape?
You can use spaghetti, you know, you can use, you know, really any pasta in this dish. It's really, like most pastas, you start with a sauce, you know, and then if you want to have fun, you know, you can try obviously different shapes to it. Normally you can even do this in a salad style as well, you know, so you can serve this cold still.
Right. Yes. So I think let's put a South African twist to it, and instead of calling it puttanesca style, let's call it lekkernesca.
I like that, Jamie. Well done.
And I mean, with the staples of pilchards, and everyone has this in their pantry, in their fridge, whatever, you can use this, you can make this and whip it up. So take us through it.
I think it's great to be able to use pilchards. You know, I mean, it adds that protein to it. There's that beautiful layer of flavor that you're getting as well. I actually like to use the brine of the, you know, that's in the tin, that nice sort of kind of fishy taste that it's got as well. You can sort of, you know, gauge how much you like that fishy flavor, so you can add a little bit or less or more. But whole peel tomato and the juice, you can use some fresh if you want, but this is very simple to use.
You can use the fresh tomato
but then you
as
can
well.
kind of like start to make your tomato sauce in the beginning and add it to it. But you can use this and add some tomatoes to it as well. Just for texture at the same
I love
time.
it, and some sauce. I love the pilchards idea because it gives that South African, you know, flavor. That lekkerness, you know, because how we add this to everything, and it's beautiful to see that you can also add it to your pasta.
Look, and
can I help you out a little bit? Come,
you can mash
I
that.
love that you are helping us.
Yes,
I'm here for the vibes, okay?
I mean, come on.
Look at that.
Also,
so now you just want to mush it to kind of like also cook into the sauce.
Okay.
And you know, the Italians always, when they add anchovies to the oil, they almost call it melting the fish into the sauce. You know, so that's what we're trying to do. And then we're just going to mix that all up. I've got some fresh basil here as well.
I love that.
The nice thing of cooking it this slowly is now the flavor of the olives, the capers and everything, not just adding texture and that saltiness to it, but also that little bit of that brininess goes into the tomato and it just adds to that lovely flavor. So that we can mix through
We can mix everything
We're
now.
going to add a little bit of fresh basil.
And
you know,
I
some
I've
nice
never seen
color.
someone smile so much just making this. She's like, yes.
You know
I'm
what?
living my
Because we're
best
so only used to onion and green peppers and just simple
And the
things.
basic.
But here, there's so much more. So that really excites me. It's not like, you know, the normal way of doing things, and it looks beautiful.
No, to be very honest, I get excited about Wednesdays because it's Waza Pasta Wednesday. I'm going to learn something.
That's
It's not anymore about
it,
basic,
you know?
boring things. No, we're spicing things.
So now this one is special. I'm definitely going to try it at home.
There's a little bit of chili in there as well. I mean, just to give it a
I love
little bit
chili.
of a bite.
I love
There's some oregano. We use some black pepper and then some just some crushed garlic. In the beginning, we've added just to flavor the food, olive oil, everything.
Look at the
Are you going to try this at home?
For sure.
Yeah? I actually think that
But to
Ruben
me,
needs
looks
to
like
hire
you've
you
cooked it
as a sous chef now because you two are doing a great job with that. That sauce is smelling so good right now.
But Tumi's taken over. You can see she's like, you know, she's finished it. You can add obviously more, but I like the color of this.
Yeah.
And the reality
I love
is
how the
because
green
you have all that brininess, that saltiness, everything, you don't need cheese. It doesn't need. I love cheese with pasta.
I love
like
it.
any person, but you know this one, it actually doesn't need
It's
it.
got
It's got
sauce,
all that loaded
it's
flavor.
rich, it's beautiful, yeah.
Okay.
Would you say, you said you would serve this either hot, either cold. You could do this as like a little salad, a side salad, or this could be the main dish. I mean, you can do this.
Yeah.
Jamie, I'll take it to where it is now. You can cool it. For me, you know, like to have leftover pasta, cold, it's, I know, I don't know if some people don't like it. I love it.
I love it.
You know, the next day it just tastes even
Really,
better.
pasta every day for me, it's beautiful. I'll have it every day.
I'm a carb girl.
Hot or
carb girl all the time. So anytime I can pop this into like a little bowl and have it for the next day, it's so easy.
It's so
Especially with our
easy.
schedules.
Yeah.
I mean, every single one of you are so busy.
And everything is mixed together, so it's just one, and you just eat and you're satisfied. Oh, look how beautiful it is. I love the green that's popping.
But just smell that. Come on, Jamie, you gotta come smell this.
I know, I do want to smell it as well.
Oh, I love that.
And then I'll go for the taste.
Okay. Is there more spoon?
Is it like, I think there's more.
There's a fork over there. The best part of my job, everybody, is tasting.
Oh, you lose
yes,
that
I got
one.
the spoon.
All right, cool.
Girl, I came with a spoon.
I love
trying to
olives,
fork it
guys.
out. So I'm trying to get everything on there. Some anchovy.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And now winter's coming. And I'm already feeling warm, feeling at home, feeling,
and you get that little bit of
cozy,
chili and, you know, that spice in the black
And the
pepper and the
aftertaste.
oregano.
I'm taking that home, so please don't double it because that is mine, okay? That is so good. That chili just adds that extra layer of just punch and heat. It is soul food. I want to hug both of you right now, but I need to tell everybody at home to get your hands on Ruben's simple and delicious recipe. They can visit our website, expressoshow.com. And don't forget, you can also win big with Fatties and Moni's Wars, our Pasta Wednesdays. We love it by standing a chance to win 2,000 Rand every day plus 10,000 Rand every Pasta Wednesday. Now, for all these details, you can visit Fatties and Moni's on their social media. Good luck. Happy entering. I'm going to finish this.
Oh, let's.
Fatties and Moni's Wars are Pasta Wednesdays. Bravo to you. Stand a chance to win 2,000 Rand every day, plus 10,000 Rand every Pasta Wednesday. See in store for details. T's and C's apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, and once again, happy Freedom Day. Hopefully you are loving having the day off, yes, but you're taking a moment to truly appreciate the freedom that comes with this democracy. And of course, we're going to celebrate it in style with a beautiful voice, and Sika is here to perform just for you in just a moment. So don't stray too far, but right now, let's bring you up to speed with the latest happenings of the day. And Jamie is standing by with the news.
Thank you so much, G. The time now is 8 o'clock. Time to have a final look at those news headlines, starting on the national front. South Africa's oil industry body, SAPIA, said yesterday jet fuel supplies at one of Africa's busiest airports, OR Tambo International in Johannesburg, are running low after transportation of the product was hit by flood damage to railway lines. The floods, among the worst to hit KZN province, have left thousands homeless and caused damage of some 10 billion rand to infrastructure. SAPIA said there's sufficient jet fuel to meet current demand, but delayed rail deliveries as a result of the flood damage in KZN pose a supply risk in the coming days. Then gold and platinum producer Sibanye-Stillwater in Western Area says it will not increase its current wage offer to workers. Last week, Sibanye increased its offer to 850 Rand a month from the previous offer of 700 Rand, which was rejected by unions. The two major trade unions, the Association of Mine Workers and Construction Union and the National Union of Mine Workers, declared a strike on the 9th of March, demanding a monthly increase of 1,000 Rand. Sibanye Premier says workers participating in the unprotected strike have lost many thousands of rands in wages. Then looking to news on the international front, the Egyptian government has reversed its decision to ban nighttime prayers and retreats in mosques following a public outcry. Now, both practices are customary during the fasting month of Ramadan, with retreats taking place in the last 10 days of the month. The Religious Affairs Minister had said the ban was designed to avoid the spread of the coronavirus. But Muslims in Egypt demanded equality with Christians who gathered in large numbers to celebrate Easter. A hashtag trending on Twitter yesterday described Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi as an enemy of God. Then Germany's ambassador to the US, Emily Haber, says that in addition to sending anti-aircraft tanks to Ukraine, Germany will also be training Ukrainian soldiers on German soil. Meanwhile, Russia's defense ministry has said the UK is provoking Ukraine into launching an attack in Russia. News agency said that the Russian army was ready to deliver retaliatory strikes against decision-making centers in Kyiv using high-accuracy weaponry. Earlier, UK Armed Forces Minister James Heapy said that the weapons provided to Ukraine by the international community had the range to strike in Russia. And then on the 18th of July every year, you are invited to mark Nelson Mandela International Day by making a difference in your communities. Now, this Mandela Day, you can support a new mom with some adorable and useful baby essentials, and the Grace Factory will deliver them to moms in need. Now, the Grace Factory has started its Mandela Day preparations by packing 1,000 bags filled with baby essentials for new moms in government hospitals. The Grace Factory, an NPO that gives practical assistance to moms as well as babies in need during the first few weeks of motherhood and infancy, stresses the importance of doing so. The organization packs the items into gift sets and delivers them to new moms in government hospitals all over South Africa. The packs consist of basic necessities such as clothes, blankets, toiletries, nappies, and a few things for mom. Mandela Day is a great way to give back to those in need. For more on the Grace Factory and how to become involved by donating a maternity pack, see contact details on your screen right now. And that is where I leave your news headlines here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's time to have a final look at the weather and those beautiful, stunning sunrise images sent in by you. Here's Raul for that.
Thank you so much, Jamie Lee Donberg. And now for our last look at the weather this morning. And reporting on weather news, the Northern Cape Department of Water and Sanitation has issued a warning to communities along the Vaal and Orange River systems. Now, both rivers continue to rise due to water being released upstream. And the Orange River at Uppington now measures over 5.6 meters. Now, meanwhile, the magnificent Augrabi Falls is flooded for the third time in the space of a year. SA National Park spokesperson Genevieve Maastorp says the fall is thundering at a speed of more than 2,400 cubic meters per second and is set to look even more breathtaking. Now, Maastorp also said the following, and quoted, "More water is on its way. It will reach its peak in the next 3 days and will slowly decline over the next fortnight." Now, this means that there will be high levels of water for approximately the next 3 weeks, unquote. Magnificent views indeed, and if you have the opportunity, then I wish you nothing but the best in making memories as you go visit it. But now, though, we kicked off our weather showcase this morning with Alan Rudnicki from an estate in Stellenbosch as he shows off the stunning shot of this double rainbow over the area. Rare stuff indeed, but what an opportunity to capture it nonetheless. Next up, Andrew Neil Harris from Belito sharing yet another winning shot, showing off the silhouetted view over his area as the sun peaks up over the horizon. Winning indeed. Nancy Govender next up from Pennington in KZN, starting off our 7 a.m. update with this creative shot overlooking the peaceful ocean, showing off the sun just managing to break through the cloud cover. Lined up, what creativity indeed. And then last but not least, Suzette Kuhn from Jeffreys Bay, sharing this beautiful view as she also starts a day overlooking the ocean, showing off a beautiful orange-hued sky. Mzansi, on your day off, you're still slaying it when it comes to these pictures. I can't thank you enough for sending them through and making us smile, seeing wherever you are in the country and waking up to the magic. For now, though, let's take one last look at the temperatures across the country, and starting off in Polokwane, the day starting at 11, moving up to 20 degrees. Rain coming through on your side of the world. Umbombela, 11 up to 22. Pretoria, 11 up to 21. And Johannesburg, 9 is your low, moving up to a high of 19 degrees. Over in Mahikeng now, much the same, a little bit of drizzle, 9 moving up to 22 degrees. Klerksdorp sees the day starting at 6 all the way up to 23. Kimberley 7 up to 22, and Bloemfontein a chilly start of 2 degrees, moving all the way up to 20 degrees Celsius. Over in Richards Bay now, the rain continues on your side of the world, 13 moving up to 22. Pietermaritzburg 13 up to 22 as well. Durban 14 up to 22, and Mthatha a little bit chillier on your side of a 6 degree start all the way up to 19 degrees Celsius. Over in East London now, where the rain is coming through quite hard, 12 is your low, moving up to 20 degrees. Craddock sees the day starting at 13, moving up to 21. Predominantly sunny skies with a little bit of drizzle in Aberga, 13 up to 20 degrees, and George sees the day starting at 11, moving all the way up to 21 degrees Celsius. Now over to the mother city, Cape Town, 13 is your low, moving up to 22 with some sunny skies. Worcester, the sun continues, 18 moving up to 23. Sutherland sees a chillier start of 7 moving up to 20, and Uppington 15 all the way up to 28 degrees Celsius. Well, that's a last look at our weather this morning. Again, Mzansi, thank you for those incredible pictures. Majestic stuff indeed. And speaking of majestic, here's a voice to go with that word right now.
And yes, an opportunity to celebrate the most majestic of them all, our mamas. I love this quote. Dorothy Canfield Fisher once said, "Mother is a verb. It's something you do, not just who you are." Now, with our Panado Mother's Day competition that hopefully you've heard about, you have the possibility to nominate a phenomenal mother in your life and win a cash prize of 2,500 Rand. And today we've got the first of our lucky winners on the show right now. Please put your hands together as we give a drum roll to... Matthew, joining us on the line right now. Matthew, a very good morning. How are you?
I'm fine.
Oh, I'm so happy to be connecting with you this morning. I'm going to start with your post. This was beautiful. You said with your entry, you said, "My mom is very supportive and she honored my late father's wish by making sure that I went on to a tertiary education after completing matric. And then even though she was not working, she made sure that I got my tertiary qualification. Hashtag Panado, hashtag a dose of care." Your mother sounds like a phenomenal person, Matthew. But first, I've got to ask, how does it feel to be our winner?
Thank you for experience. And then buy my mother something special for if you get that money.
Oh, I think the timing of it just ahead of Mother's Day couldn't be better. How are you going to be celebrating with your mom this Mother's Day? Have you got anything special planned? What do you want to say to her?
You're going to buy something. Yes. I don't tell me that it's a surprise. Because now I win Expresso competition.
Oh, buddy, and at least that money has come at just the right time. If you had the opportunity to say something to your mom right now, to thank her, what would you like to say to your mother ahead of Mother's Day?
Yeah, I can buy something for Mother's Day next week. Thank you for winning Experia competition.
Oh, my friend, congratulations, and I hope you will be able to find something that's perfect for her with the 2,500 Rand that you have won. Congrats and enjoy it, my friend. And with Mother's Day...
Thank you very much.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure, my friend, and happy Freedom Day. Go and enjoy your public holiday. Well, with Mother's Day...
Thank you.
Oh, brilliant stuff there. With Mother's Day fast approaching, this Panado's Mother's Day prize money could not have come at a better time. And if you wanted to stand the chance of being the next winner yourself, then all you got to do is enter the Panado Mother's Day competition and do it right now. Good luck.
Introducing new Panado Pediatric Syrup 5ml sachets. They're really convenient to pack and easy to use, so you're always prepared for pain and fever anytime, anywhere.
So let's continue your entertainment. We need to make sure that you are entertained on a Freedom Day, and the incredible, talented Ntsika is back on your stage on Expresso, and he's about to perform a very, very powerful song. There's so much meaning to it, and it's so connected to I Write What I Dream, Awundiva, which also featured Vusi Nova. Ntsika tells me he's going to take on all the parts because he wrote the song. He's that proud of it. This was his debut single as a solo artist, and it's not hard to see why it kickstarted his solo career so successfully. So this is yours on Freedom Day, Awundiva. It's Ntsika. like how he just throws in Happy Freedom Day.
Hey, listen to
Hey! He just throws it in like that. That's guy, hey? I know what I write, what I dream about what he writes. That's the thing. It is powerful, and I can tell you the fertile soils of lyrics will continue on your Feel Good Breakfast show with this man. He will cultivate the culture you need on this Freedom Day, so stay free and don't be dumb.
We are back with the best of the best in the All-Star Season 10 of Tropica Island of Treasure. And we're going big!
Just tell us why you should be chosen to compete with one of these all-star celebs and stand a chance to win a smooth 1 million rand. WhatsApp your audition video or upload it on our socials at MyTropica for your chance to get a spot on the island.
So buy a Tropica today, and this could be you. CPAC for details.
Tropica, nothing smoother.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
That intro always gets me. I don't know why. See, my shoulders are still moving. Yeah, I must calm down. Happy Freedom Day. You're on Expresso, and welcome back to another installment. And I need you to do this with me, please. It's the Freedom Day edition of the Culinary Hotline Bling! Ding, ding, ding! That's how you Freedom Day it. And we are joined by one of our favorite chefs. All right, this man is a visionary when it comes to being a chef. His culinary excellence is revered all over the world. Basically, when you come to Cape Town to visit, they say, have you seen Table Mountain, Robben Island? Have you seen Clem? He's a monument. He really is. So if you have any questions for this monument of the kitchen, Chef Clem, on all things in the kitchen, whatever you are struggling with, he's got your back. Call us right now on 021 110 552. And Eid is just a few days away. And today's culinary hotline is dedicated to all of those who are preparing and getting ready for the big day. Last week, we had Chef Clem share some of his recipes and inspirations around this very, very beautiful and blessed occasion. And if you still haven't decided on what you want to add to your dessert table, we've got the perfect dessert queen here today. Chef Clem.
Yes, I called in a friend. Because I was like, someone who's going to celebrate Eid on the day. I'm not the biggest baker, don't even notice. Okay, I bake, I can, but that's not my food, savory, everything, you know, all of that.
We needed a baker.
I called someone who is a baker, who cooks with so much spice and so much flavor.
And a bit of sass.
Quite a lot of sass.
Right.
Okay, do you want to bring her into the kitchen?
I don't know if you want to.
No, you do.
No,
Are
you sure?
No, you gave me such an amazing introduction.
Ready.
How about you do the second one for our next guest?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome an individual who doesn't only bake. She has a sensational way of using an oven as a facilitator for happiness. What? Please welcome Sassy Bakes! Yes! Yes, she is.
Hello, guys.
Hello. It's so lovely to have you. Thank you so much for taking the time on a public holiday. I know Chef Clem is very verbarig when it comes to asking people to work on a public holiday, but you know what, we had to bring you in.
I'm getting overtime, don't worry.
You better.
Yes, you are.
This is true, from your budget, eh?
We don't, not only double pay, it's like triple pay, and then chauffeured and everything. Everything.
Yep.
The whole caboose.
Yes.
Okay, so we are talking about dessert choices, eats coming up. We need to make sure that there is something blessed, but also different.
Yeah.
And having the quality that only we know from Sassy Bakes as well is also, that helps a lot. So what are we going with today? What are we looking at? What do we want to do, Chef Clem? Why do we bring in our favorite Avenger?
Talk us through this dish because I can't look at it anymore. I can't look at it anymore because honestly, I'm like drooling, and the portion size of them is perfect, like one in each hand. So talk us through what this magic is right here.
So today we're making a beautiful orange cake.
Yeah.
And it's drizzled with some cream cheese and crumb pistachios. Darling, it doesn't get better than that.
It does not. Let's start. Talk us through the recipe. You have Carl and I both helping you out today.
We'll do whatever you want us to do.
At the same time, the phone lines are open. If you have any suggestions about what you're going to feature on your eat table, if you have any questions for Sassy, myself, or Carl, give us a call. Carl, do you know the number?
021 110 552 maybe? Just guessing.
That's the number. Give us a call. The phone lines are open. Sassy, take it away.
All right, let's go.
Okay. So we're going to start with our 1 cup of sugar. And where is the sugar, guys?
The sugar is within.
Is it within?
Yeah, this is within. The sugar is within.
They are saying, everyone's giving sign.
Yes.
I get the sign language. They're saying it's already in the eggs.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Did you really?
I did. Do you know what the sign language was?
What was the sign? What did they say?
Actually, inappropriate. I can't do it live on TV. But I know what they were saying. It's in the eggs. It's in the eggs, so what's the next step?
So they were doing this?
Okay.
Okay.
Clem, the sugar's in the eggs, bro.
Wow, cheese.
Thanks. Didn't hear it the first time. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I love that man. Okay.
So the sugar's in the eggs, I believe.
Yes.
And that's 1 cup of sugar and 4 extra large eggs.
Okay, great.
And you whisked it for us.
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yes, I did
Okay,
that whole
fantastic. So now we're going to go with 1 cup of oil. Who's doing the honors?
Okay, Carl, I'm going to do everything here. This is for you.
Is that, am I on this side?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
you
so
can do it. You can do it.
Okay.
Are you
Show
ready?
Me, guide me, Sassy Bakes, guide me. So this is my oil. Where do you want
Yeah,
this
are you
oil to
ready
go?
for this moment?
I'm ready for my oil moment.
Okay.
Are we going to oil that there? So what are we doing? So we've got the eggs and the sugar. Now the oil's being added. Is this all the oil that we need? We're going to
Only 1 cup. That's perfect.
Okay, cup of oil. So what is this doing? Is this adding moisture?
Yes.
I had a feeling.
Absolutely. There we go.
Thank
and
you.
drizzle it.
That's it. I'm just drizzling, and you know what? I was mint bay earlier. I'm now oil bay. This is great. I'm oil of obey.
And get everything in there, babe. Everything.
Okay. So,
And I see that's olive oil, am I right? Is that olive oil that we're using?
Yeah.
okay, is that all? Is that good? All right,
That's
so now once you got
perfect.
the oil in, what do we do now?
You're going to whisk that
Ooh,
for about a minute.
Oh,
Are
I
you
can't
ready?
wait. I'm ready for this.
Okay.
Are we doing a slow
Start
one?
slowly.
Slowly. Okay, I'm going to
There we
go
go.
slow.
And then you go higher.
Ooh.
Yes.
And already the color is changing because I feel like this is what happens to oil, especially if you're going to make a vinaigrette.
That's
same sort of principle, except you're doing it in the baking version, which is great.
That's perfect.
Oh, lovely.
Can I ask, while Carl's doing that, I see I've got a pot in front of me.
Yes.
Something I can start here.
Yeah, of course. So this is our cream cheese, 250 grams of cream cheese. I want you to put that in the pot for me.
And just so you know, at home, the recipe will be posted on the website. All the quantities, the method. If you want to make this amazing dish, the website's where you're going to go for it.
Perfect.
You don't come around. See me in the week. Sorry,
Oh, yes, there we go.
I'm blender fussy. Sorry.
I love it. I love it.
Yes, you
Just maybe not, okay?
It's okay, yep. Good.
So we've got
Done.
2 cups of self-raising flour.
Yes.
We've got our 3 teaspoons of baking powder, which we're going to enter in there.
Dry ingredients together as one.
Where's our whisk, guys?
All
Where's
right.
our
Here we go. I'll lend you my one. How's
Yes,
that?
thank you.
Can you just whisk that through for me?
I will just do this nice whisk. Do you want to
Are
fold
you ready
it or
for
what?
that?
Okay, cream cheese in.
Cream cheese in. On with the stove.
A low heat, because I mean...
Low heat,
low
yeah.
heat.
And then I
And are
want
we
you
just going to kind of soften this in the pot?
There we go.
All right.
Soften that in the pot with some butter for me.
All of this?
No, just use like a, maybe like a quarter of that.
A quarter of this, okay.
Yeah, we feel our way.
We actually have G
Did you
on
wash
the
your
side.
hands?
I did. We
Okay.
always. Carl's wash his hands. I wash my hands. G, come inside. G's just standing
Look
here.
at you. You
and
just come, dude.
Have you washed your hands?
Please, can you just relive the moment there? Can you please have your little magical moment with your ice and sugar or whatever you were doing there again, please, man? Because I don't think anyone got to truly appreciate
There we go.
what was
That is
happening in the wind.
amazing. Oh, my word. Guys, if nobody knows, this is what you call whisking. There we go.
That's it. Exactly.
The wasty way.
The wasty whisking, it's a thing.
I think that's what you call a gentle whisk.
That's it, thank you.
Gently whisk.
That's what I do, man.
Okay, my darling Carl.
Yes,
what you're
my
going to
angel.
do, you're going to put it in there for me.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to plug... So any sort of speed at which I must put this in?
Gently. Gentle speed.
Yeah, there we go. All with love.
Okay, this is what I think.
That's gorgeous.
And just before I go, guys, a reminder, the sugar's in the eggs, right?
Sugar
Well,
is
geez,
in
thanks.
the eggs. Thank you. Okay.
All the flour, Carl. There we go.
Done. Okay. And then what we're going to do is...
Now, we're going to whisk that again.
Okay, whisking again. Oh, I love that. All right, so while we do this, remember, as we go
Slowly.
through this, we're going to do this slow. Woo!
Okay, like really slow.
Like really slow. Okay,
Yeah.
show me the slow way. If you want to get any of the ingredients, go to expressoshow.com. We're going to
There we
continue
go.
whisking, beating,
Do it like-
making, shaking. Sassy Bakes is going to still be in the kitchen along with Chef Clem. If you've got any questions a little later as we get to part 2, 021 110 5552. For anything, the phone is yours. Culinary hotline, it will be back in the next couple of minutes. Stay there. This is gorgeous.
I hope you'll always know how much I love you. I hope that you never stop learning and growing. That you'll be brave and joyful and kind. And that one day, when you look at me and I look at you, we'll love the wonderful you that you've become. It all begins with purity.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show on S3. Happy Freedom Day, but let's switch lanes a bit and focus on the mamas. Now, there's no better way to honor what a mother does for her children than by making a day out of it. Now, Mother's Day has been the ultimate day to celebrate mothering roles all around the world since the 1900s. I didn't know if you know that, but now you do. Now, what makes spoiling your mother so easy, and yet to give us the ultimate Mother's Day gifting guide is Editor-in-Chief from Modern Living, Danielle Weekly. Hello, Mama.
Hi, Mama.
You know, I get very emotional around Mother's Day because I wish that I could put everything that my mom has done to me into a small gift, but you have beautiful gestures that you have right here, something for every mama out there. So what do you have for us?
Okay, so being mamas, you'll appreciate this. What I was thinking when I was looking at gifts for this year was trying to create a moment for a mom to have time for herself. So like some quiet or preferably even silence altogether. So I tried to create a couple of little like give me a hot minute moments as a mama. So there's like a morning mom where you can quietly have a little cup of coffee, a chocolate, it's Mother's Day, a little something, you know, so that you can start with that if that's like your morning ritual. If you're kind of a mom that really enjoys like a beautiful bath time and that's your quiet time, we've created a little bunch of gifts here that are like scented candles, home fragrances, beautiful things that can really make a ritual out of a quiet time over a bath. We kind of looked at the late night, late owl mamas, so being able to like find a little time when everyone's gone to bed and you can wrap up in a beautiful throw. I particularly am keen on this vibe of being able to just like huddle up on the couch with a book or something to watch and just have something beautiful. Also like candles, heating, all the good stuff. And then like for the late night mamas who are awake, we've got something beautiful for bedtime. So there's like silk pillowcases and a little eye mask. Again, some beautiful, super relaxing, like spritz of a pillow spray or something like that. A little frame for your bedside table so that you can never forget your children are about to wake you up.
I mean, how
at some point.
How could we forget that?
How could we? So I've tried to just create like moments of like quiet for moms this year.
I think I thought I was like a self-care mom, just realizing and looking at all these gift ideas. I'm an everyday kind of mama. I want everything single one of these gift ideas. So I'm dropping the hint over there. I know Luca's only 3 years old, but Luca, if you are watching, mamas are all kind of mama, okay? But I don't know. Yeah, get a job, okay? Please, can we do that? No, I'm joking. It really is something for every mom out there, whether you do want to do something like a coffee in the morning. But something that I still see that is definitely on your guiding list right here is the diffuser, which is perfect for every mama.
I love home fragrances, and I particularly love them in winter because I think they create such a coziness and a little sense of occasion and a mood. So you can also sort of gear them to something that's more relaxation. So those are tranquil. It's the same with the pillow sprays versus something that's a little bit more energizing or revitalizing, which would be something that you could do in the mornings or whatever. So for me, really being able to play with home fragrances, and you'll see between the chuckles and the home fragrances, they feature in every gift because there is no time as a mom that I think you wouldn't want both of those things.
You don't realize now I'm watching you and I'm hearing you saying that, and all I can think of is my mom saying, Jamie, you better get me every single one of that because that is on my... Should we ask our parents, should we ask our mamas what they want? Because I mean, I'm sure they're going to be giving us hints after this segment.
No, I don't know. You see, as a mom as well, I'm always like, no, please don't get me anything. It's a lie. That is a lie. We want something. But you're like, please don't be silly. You don't have to get me anything. Like being your mom is a gift enough.
Let's all laugh together, everybody. No, it is. Being a mom truly is a very special gift, but sometimes we need to be spoiled as well. And I think with the range that you have here, there's something for everyone. But I don't know if you know this, but you can also get 25% off on selected Expresso appliances. Plus, you can also get a 500 Rand coffee voucher until the 8th of May 2022. So that adds...
Morning mamas.
Just more for the morning mamas.
Yes.
Daniel Weekly, as always, it's so good to have you with us.
Much.
One thing, just off the top of your head, that every mama should get, despite if they're an early morning mama, is it the throw?
It's the throw for me. But I do love a throw.
I know you do.
I love them.
What are your daughters' names?
No excuse.
What are your daughters' names?
Sienna and Pierre.
Sienna and Pierre?
They better be watching.
They are watching right now. That throw is what is on your mommy's list this year. But make sure that your moms feel loved, make sure that they feel special and also appreciated this Mother's Day. Get 20% off on selected bedding, blankets and those throws until the 1st of May 2020. You can also shop this offer at Woolworths. As always, like we encourage you, it is in-store, online or on the Woolies app.
All right, gentlemen.
Here we go.
Ready? My financial...
Your gurus.
My little...
Come
my
seek
financial
counsel, my
advisors. I need some help here. So there's a 3-for-1 special. No, there's not a 3-for-1 special.
Another
We're
one.
not doing that again, okay? This week I haven't bought 3 for...
Well done, well done, well done.
But this is going to be equally diverse. I think I'm going to polarize the world once again, so I'm sorry. I know some people, they enjoy cooking on a public holiday, but let's be honest, a lot of us don't want to be cooking, don't want to be doing anything, okay? So now I'm going to talk about the biggest debate in takeaways today, bar none. Do you save the trip and fork out extra on a food delivery app, okay? Or do you leave the comfort of your couch, use some petrol, gold, liquid gold, and go and collect it yourself? Woohoo, get hungry because it is time to play another round of Would You Rather. Dun, dun, dun. So I'm already thinking this is going to be tough because I can't see a right answer. So, A, do you order from the restaurant and go and collect it yourself? Okay, bearing in mind it's more than like 3 or 4 kilometers away, okay? So it's like walking distance. Or B, do you order via your food delivery app and tip? Because you got to tip, hey? Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy or girl. Okay. Galito. Hey, this is a tough one. I know you've been weighing up petrol as one of your kind of deciding factors quite a lot, eh?
It's really big for me, but now the thing is, depending on the distance of the petrol, that's going to be a bit of a strange one.
You're going to need like a pen and paper for this decision.
I think you have to actually do like the cross the arithmetic. The Excel sheet out. No, I would probably say that I'd go collect myself. I think that sometimes delivery apps, there are a lot of expenses around. You're paying for your food, and you're paying for that extra fee, and you're paying for that delivery fee, and you're tipping.
And chances are they've probably factored in the petrol in there.
That's where I was going to go to now. I was going to go straight there. I said factoring the petrol over there already tells you that. I mean, also, you don't know how efficiently this particular person drives. I mean, I can drive efficiently. I need to go there at,
What do you mean by efficiently, Carl?
Efficient driving. So
but you know, sometimes you look at
faster, and
you track the guy. Now he's done 3 circles around your block and gone back to pick up someone else's.
He's dropping off another order.
They could, but that's the truth. They could actually have another order before yours. So I'm going to say, call the restaurant. Get the chow. Also, when they're ready for you, they say 20 minutes. You get there in 20 minutes, and
or you go a little bit early and have a little drinky poo or something while you're there. Right?
Well, I was just going to tell you that the great thing about collecting your takeaways is the fact that you also get to nibble the chips in the car on the way home. They're still hot.
Rather you than the
so that's my decision.
Guy. Yeah.
I'm going to go collect.
Okay, go collect, Raul.
I like that. Okay, well done. Look, in an ideal world, I'll be honest with you, I would love to just sit on the couch, chill out, and have it delivered right to my door.
Yeah.
But often on a day off, you know, for us, our lives are quite hectic.
Yes.
There's like that one thing you need to get at the shop. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, it's on the way. So let's make this a convenience thing. While I am using petrol, let me just go quickly grab something on the side, you know? So I always get caught up in that conundrum of like, I wish I could stay here, but I actually need to go get something.
But then the problem is then you're in the shop, and you see a 3 for the price of 2 special.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, the plan backfired.
Do you know what will end this debate forever? Please can we have a 3 for the price of 2 petrol special? Anyway. All right, okay, let's get the real wisdom here. Let's see what the experts have said about this one.
Lucinda Simone van Wyk coming through saying, either way, I would pay. Because for delivery or for petrol. So I'd choose the one most convenient for me at the time, which in this case is B. Order from the delivery app.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
That's actually the fair comment there. Gary Okamp, Graham's best friend. I usually always collect and schedule it after going to the supermarket or whatever, so I don't make a special trip. That was you were saying.
Yeah. You make it convenient.
Logistics,
you know, like use the petrol bang for your buck. That's what it is.
Yes, plan.
Some more comments coming through as well. There is Magara saying, order from the restaurant and collect. So that's one on my side. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Another one, Mariana Charter saying, hey, so Carlitos, you standing up here with the leader.
I like that when they only put the letter there. It's almost like they're being a bit passive-aggressive. Like, of course it's A.
A.
Do I even need to justify?
Like A, K. Just like that.
And then Rose Chetty coming through saying, A. It is a definite for me. I love to check my meal before taking it home, just so that I'm satisfied with... That's a good point.
Yes,
she's been burnt.
How many times... Yeah, she's probably going to order the
food as.
Or half the burger into the... Okay, well, that's a good point I didn't actually think about.
We ordered a lasagna the other day, and we couldn't tell what it was when it arrived.
Oh, no, man.
Come on.
Like a soup at the end of it all. Lasagna soup.
Oh, this is a tough one, man. But thank you, gents. This is going to be burning in my mind for the rest of the day. Getting a takeaway can be a real treat, yes, but deciding whether to have it delivered, which requires a delivery charge and a tip for the driver, because don't be that guy, or just collecting it yourself, which means maybe you'll spend a little bit more petrol. It's a tricky decision. If smart saving is your goal, though, for 2022, which I really hope it is, then visit nedbank.co.za and hear what the actual professionals have to say about it. The experts will be there to help you map out the best way to do this.
Don't just buy. Look out for specials. Do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money choices seriously? Join Nedbank today.
beta-glucan? Hello, do you know what beta-glucan is? What is beta-glucan? No one knows what beta-glucan is.
Beta-glucan is a natural fiber in jungle oats that helps lower cholesterol and keep heart well.
Jungle, do life with heart.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, and we are still here in the kitchen for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is for the Culinary Hotline Bling! Ting, ting, ting! Okay, cool. Thank you. Right, so Sassy is still here from Sassy Bakes. We had to complete the recipe. It's quite important before we get any of your calls. Remember, 021 110 552 if you'd like to get involved. Now, here's the thing. Let's finish it off. We did the batter. We did our thing. We put them in the molds. These go into the oven for how long? I didn't ask you that.
So 180 degrees Celsius,
Yes.
and it's for 30 minutes only.
Okay, 30 minutes, done
Until
and done.
done.
And then do you do the toothpick thing that you
Yeah, you
normally
do the toothpick, and you just check that it's all done and
Yes.
ready, and then out they come.
And now there is something special because we have to dress this lovely thing.
Yes,
Dress it. So what would you do after, once you have that as
Okay,
a
so
raw
now-
material, so to speak?
So
the next
it goes
thing is-
in and it comes out.
Then done.
There we go.
Right.
All done. And then we're going to drizzle some. Do you have a spoon?
Have we got another spoon? Watch G
You
come
have
and
a
run in and
spoon?
tell us where the spoon is.
I think we could do a little drizzle like that. if you
Let's
want
just do a drizzle like
Okay,
that.
do it like
okay,
this.
just like that.
Liberal drizzle.
There we go.
Oh my goodness.
And
this
some
is great.
pistachios over that.
And you know what I love? There's something very sort of rah-rah
And
about
like we said, the
pistachio.
recipe will be
on the website, yeah.
Here we go.
Pistachios, I agree with you.
You know what I mean? There's something about it. Like when you put pistachios onto something, you obviously mean business. It's like, you know, if I put cashews on it, it's like, oh, thank you so much, dude. Put peanuts on, like, oh, that's very kind of you. Pistachios, like, yo, clearly the end of the month in your house, no? This is the end of the month, yo. It's like that. Remember, give us a call if you have any questions. We have Sassy and we've got Clem to answer yours. Oh, yes!
Oh, wait!
What? Oh, my, what?
Wow.
What?
Should we just...
No, not the red. No.
Oh, okay.
Anyone. Culinary Hotline, Bling Call speaking. How can I help you?
Hello, good morning.
Hello, is this Marvin?
Yes, it is.
Hello, Marvin. Chat to Clem and Sassy. What's your question?
Oh, firstly, good morning, Uncle Clem, Auntie Sassy.
Wow.
Hi, good morning.
Wow, Auntie and Uncle. That's great. Wow. What's your
Uncle
question
Carl.
there? Oh, yes, thank you so much, nephew. Tell me, what's your question?
Well, I want to know how long in advance can I make this cake and it stays fresh for longer?
Okay, so how long can you make this cake in advance so it stays fresh for longer?
That's
so,
for you,
so what's
Sassy.
the shelf life of your cake, Sassy?
Generally, it's about 3 to 5 days. You can put it in the fridge, and then and it will still taste absolutely perfect and sassy.
Nice.
Oh.
Do I drizzle it when I serve it? Is that
You can drizzle it when you serve it. Also, you can bake these cakes. You can wrap them, freeze them, and take them out, let them come to room temperature, drizzle it, and
Oh, that's perfect, isn't it,
just
eh?
have it with your pistachios or your peanuts.
Can I ask you the big trendy question right here? Once you've taken them out of the freezer, can you put them in the air fryer?
No.
Okay, I'm just asking the big guys.
okay.
So I have to ask the problem.
I
Sorry,
thought
Marvin,
this
I'll ask the question for you, Marvin. Thanks so much for your question. Have a great day, Marvin. Enjoy your Freedom Day.
Thank you, you guys too.
Lovely. Hope that answered it. There we go. Don't put it into the air fryer, but as you can see, you can freeze them and they will remain sassy in the freezer.
Can I have one?
Oh, look at you go.
Okay, here's the thing. They told me I can have it when we're done. We're done. Can I have it
Are we
now?
done?
No, with this one. Okay, so can
Do we have another one? Let's
we
do
do.
another one.
But can you, the two of you, just start on the next recipe because... Come on!
You've been looking at Sassy, you've been looking at like for ages.
Yeah,
so
but have
give
this
him
one.
a
We
bite.
just drizzle them.
I want the pistachios. I
One
want to be...
pistachio one.
Okay.
You want to be bougie.
Oh,
Okay, I want
the choices.
Okay. Now, this looks... Okay, it's close up.
Crack it open, crack it open.
Do I crack it open?
Yeah, crack it open
Here we go.
and then...
Let them see the inside.
Oh, look at that
This is
in the middle.
You want something later? You can't.
No, I'm
you
fine.
can't. You can't.
So it's the orange. Talk to me about the orange. Tell me about the... Why are you sitting down? Talk to me about the orange.
He's having a moment.
He's having a problem.
having a
Oh, my
moment.
word, look at him go.
Okay.
And
the thing about the orange, it would otherwise just be a vanilla cake, which is perfectly fine because
Yes.
the texture of this is amazing. I would eat this as vanilla cake all day. The orange just elevates it so much more. And that cream cheese drizzle, it needs that sour just to cut through everything.
Yeah.
And then I feel fancy with the pistachios.
Yes, really fancy, right?
This is... I'm glad I didn't wait till the end of this, because this is... Okay, you guys cook, I'm here.
Fantastic.
You're just eating, okay.
And now we're ready for our next recipe.
Yes, talk to me, Sassy.
Okay,
What's the
so
next
what
one?
we've got 250 grams of butter. Carl, move along.
Really?
250 grams of butter.
Yes.
Hot water. And we're going to boil that.
Okay, we're boiling that.
Once it's done,
we're
it's
on to our next one.
over to this side.
Okay, great.
Okay, we're going to
Lovely.
add our sugar, white sugar, 1 cup of white sugar, 1 cup of brown sugar to it. Okay, that's done.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
A lot of recipes call for white sugar and brown sugar.
Yeah.
Why do they do that, not just use one specific sugar?
It's because brown sugar is not as sweet.
Okay.
And it caramelizes the cake a bit. So I invented this because I thought cinnamon and brown sugar go beautifully together, but you also don't want it to be bitter, so you add the 1 cup of white.
Nice.
Bit of both worlds.
Wow. Okay, that's a brilliant question. Can I just?
I didn't even call.
Should give you more cake for the question. Wow. That's great.
Okay, so
while
in that
you're doing
goes.
this- So this is going to do its thing. It's going to come together quite nicely. And we are chilling here while we're standing by with our other wet ingredients and some dry over here.
Okay, so once that has come to a boil,
Okay.
you're going to take it off.
Yes.
And Carlos going to do his job.
Am I doing my job today?
There we go.
Blender fussy, that's me.
There we go.
All day. It's not even weekend. But
Just
I'm
on
your
a
special.
nice low heat till it comes to a boil.
Okay, great stuff. So it's going to do its thing.
Yeah.
And once we've done that, once it's come to a boil, immediately after.
Yes, we will then mix it on a low speed for about 2 minutes till it cools down. Then in goes our eggs and then our flour.
Sorry,
Did you put our phone on silent?
I did. I think I had to put it on silent
Is there a
accidentally.
phone call coming in?
Oh, sorry, man. You know, sometimes that happens to my phone. Like, it doesn't ring immediately, but it's like, sorry.
Okay, so you're not ignoring me.
Culinary hotline ring. Call speaking. How can I help you?
Good morning, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Welcome to the Culinary hotline ring. Would you like to ask a question of Sassy or Chef Clem or me?
I would like to ask a question, especially to the ladies.
Sassy, yeah.
Because I know that ladies are very good in the kitchen.
Okay. I'll allow it this time. I will allow it. But continue. Hold on. Let's continue. What question would you like to ask the lady of the kitchen while the men stand by and clean up?
As I can see that she's busy right now doing the preparing of whatever she's preparing.
Yes.
So I'm a cake lover, biscuit, but I don't know how to bake. And I love a homemade food, but I can't because I'm always at work. I just need advice on what to eat quick, like you were saying, you're doing 10 minutes meal, 30 minutes meal. So I would love to get an advice. So how can I improve? I really, really love cooking and baking, but I am not good.
So let's just let's condense the question for a second. Can I ask Sassy, if you want to do this baking thing but not be too complicated, what's some of the simpler recipes that she can try in order for her to satisfy her baking side?
Pancakes, darling, pancakes.
What an amazing answer, yeah.
A beautiful muffin, easy vanilla cake. There's so many easy recipes. Maybe she can also check on on the webpage and also on Sassy Bakes as well.
Yes.
We do offer some free recipes.
Oh, that's great.
And there we go.
And videos would be so cool to kind of take it through and that sort of thing. So there we go. You know, there are some videos, the step by step, and they're going to be very quick and easy, nothing too complicated as well for you. And we know that you will get exactly what you need. If you go to expressoshow.com, all of the recipes that we do in the kitchen here are here for you, and we do the method, and we have the recaps as well. So I want you to be the best cook you can ever be in your entire life, and we have everything you need on expressoshow.com. Good luck.
Thank you.
You're going to be
Thank
amazing.
You so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful, man.
That is unfortunately actually all the time we have. Left. I'm serious. We didn't get to this. I'm sorry. I couldn't even do my blending thing. But the thing is, I want you to imagine that I've blended this all together and exercise your freedom to go to the website, as mentioned, expressoshow.com, and that wraps up our edition of this beautiful Culinary Hotline. Thanks Thanks so much, Sassy.
Oh, you're welcome.
Telkom unlimits your world for less. Level up your gaming and find more reasons to share every moment with more data to use your way. Get 20 megabits per second unlimited data for only 599 Rand per month. Do more on your terms and live your Munati with no limits. Call 10213, click telkom.co.za or go to any Telkom shop. Fair usage policy and T's and C's apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back to it. It's Freedom Day. We're celebrating everything that is coming from it and everything that has been fought for from our forefathers as well. And standing by is a man that has fought for something special. Now, his third and final song performed by Ntsika. Now, this morning, it's entitled Fana Mayiza, and it is from his debut album, I Write What I Dream. And it was released in 2019. And let me tell you, all these performances so far have been magic, and this one is definitely going to continue with that. Brother, one more time, take us away.
You know what? I think we've witnessed a heavyweight becoming on the show. My word, what a gifted performer. But more importantly, what a wonderful human being. And Sika, we love you, guy. Thank you so much. You're still there. Take another bow.
Take a bow, son.
Oh, there he is. Look at that smile. Thank you so much for blessing us with your gifts this morning. Is that for me, buddy?
That's for you.
Oh,
That's for you.
thank you.
Yes.
Much.
I'm about to be sassified. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Sassified.
There you go. I'm going to pass that down. This is the one. But also, we didn't try the cinnamon bread at the end. That looks amazing.
I
thought you were keeping it for yourself.
I've got my buttercut in the back.
But
How was it, G?
Enjoy your Freedom
delicate,
Day.
beautiful.
Thanks a lot for spending it with us. Have a beautiful one.
We love you so much.
Love you.
Here's to the sweet taste of time off, celebrating the lust of summer, and to family memories made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.